I want you to say back the blue really loud. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? That's exactly what we do, and that's exactly what President Trump does. I also want to thank my wife. I'm trying to find her. There she is, right here, of 33 years. I've got my brother and sister-in-law here too, but we've got a lot of friends in the crowd. I want to thank you all for being here and supporting my campaign. Get Dan Forrest elected. Get Jim O'Neill elected. Actually, when I think about voting red, I want you to think about what voting red means. It means remove every Democrat. Every single one of them, ladies and gentlemen. The Democratic Party has gone so far left that Bernie Sanders' policies are considered mainstream. Can you believe that? Kamala Harris has a more liberal voting record than Bernie Sanders. Can you believe that? Do you all want Bernie Sanders to be the chair of the Budget Committee? Chuck Schumer to be the majority leader? Are we going to let that happen? No. Why? Because we fulfilled our promises. I'm going to talk about the presidents in a minute, but we started back in 2011. When I became Speaker of the House, we traveled all over this state, and we promised you all that if you elected us a majority in North Carolina, we were going to cut your taxes. We were going to cut regulations. We were going to get this economy to be one of the leading economies versus being one of the lagging economies. That's exactly what we did, ladies and gentlemen. And then I went up to Washington. I got to do the same thing when President Trump was elected. We cut taxes. We cut regulations. We rebuilt the military after Joe Biden helped Barack Obama gut it. We actually did right by our veterans to make sure that we gave them the care they deserved. We took a VA under Barack Obama and Joe Biden that was in shambles, and we took care of our veterans. We got any veterans here? Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service to our great nation. It's because of you I get to do my job. Thank you. So I fulfilled my promises, and the president did too. What about my opponent? Y'all heard of Cal Cunningham? Yeah. Well, a few weeks ago on a Friday evening, I ended up testing positive for COVID, and I had to be quarantined. A couple hours later, he came down with a lot more severe symptoms. Cal Cunningham built his entire campaign. Y'all saw all the ads, right? It was about truth and honor. In fact, there are so many ads that my 3-year-old granddaughter half the time calls me Tom Tillis now. But we saw all of his ads. It was about truth and honor. It was about being proud of that military uniform, that Army uniform. And then we found out he had an affair with a wounded warrior's wife. He's not been truthful and he's not been honorable. So do y'all think he's going to fulfill his promises? Well, there is one he's going to fulfill. He said he will raise your taxes. That's one he'll probably fulfill. He'll vote for Chuck Schumer. He'll vote for the nuclear option. He will vote to expand the courts and pack them. He will vote for regulations like the Green New Deal that will kill this country. He will do damage that will be virtually impossible to recover from. That's exactly why he's not going to get elected on Tuesday. Now, in closing, I want to talk about the president. We've got thousands and thousands of people here. Somebody raise your hand if you can think of one promise President Trump made that he didn't keep. One promise. He said he'd cut taxes, did he? He said he'd cut regulations, did he? He said he'd hold China accountable, did he? He said he'd rebuild the military, did he? He said he'd fix the VA, did he? There's not one single promise this president has made that he didn't keep. Now, Joe Biden, come on, man. What's Joe Biden promise? He's going to raise your taxes. He also talks about it's not going to be on people under $400,000 a year. When gas prices go up by twice, is that raising your taxes? When energy prices go up by twice, is that going to hurt the people that are poorest the most? Right. When Joe Biden says China rising is a good thing, is China doing anything a good thing? No. This president has also held Russia more accountable than in 4 years than Barack Obama did in 8 years. Come on, Joe. That is why President Trump is going to get 4 more years. Ladies and gentlemen, we've only got 2 days before the polls close, almost 48 hours before the polls close. I see my friend Speaker Tim Moore there. I know I got some of my House colleagues. Give them a big round of applause. How many of y'all voted? Raise your hand if you voted. Awesome. That means you've got nothing to do on Tuesday but get more votes. I want you to vote. As Ted Cruz said, I was out in the West with him campaigning recently. He's kind of a good guy. He's one of my buddies on the Judiciary Committee. By the way, did y'all hear about the Supreme Court Justice Week confirmed? Yeah. Well, Ted Cruz said something that I want every one of you to do, and I hope the press will listen before they tweet it. I want you to vote 10 times. Right? Most of you have already voted. That means your Tuesday is free. So I want you to call 9 people and tell them what's at stake in this election. Our taxes, our economy. Do you want a Biden depression or a Trump super recovery? Do you want your freedom of speech to be protected or taken away? Do you want your Second Amendment rights to be upheld or have your guns confiscated? Do you want the courts to be packed to where we could never get back to where we are today? No. So call 9 people. Promise me you'll call 9 people. And have them call 9 people. That's 10 votes that you can help cast. And I hope you'll do it, because if you do, I promise you I'm going to go back to Washington and I'm going to continue to be obsessed with doing the things that you want us to do. I'm going to continue to be obsessed with fulfilling my promises. And I know with the leadership of Donald Trump, we're going to make America even greater. Thank you all. God bless you.
Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are here live right now in Hickory, North Carolina, which is about 1 hour northwest of Charlotte. The president expected to arrive here very shortly. We know that he did run over a little bit late on his last rally, so we're not exactly sure when the president will be here, but when he does get here, you know that Right Side Broadcasting Network is going to bring you live, uninterrupted coverage of it. Today I'm here with Grace Saldana. We're covering the rally together. Grace, how do you feel about today's rally?
I feel great about today's rally. It's huge already. I mean, when we were coming in, there was just a massive line of people, and that started the last couple of days. People have just been, like, President Trump always has huge crowds, but these crowds in the last couple of days have been massive. So I'm excited to see, like, once the venue completely fills up, I want to see how many people are going to be here, because last night in, what county was it? Butler County, Pennsylvania, there was 57,000 patriots who came out to see the president. So I am very excited to see how it turns out today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And today's rally is brought to you by our partner, My Patriot Supply. With only days left until the election, now is the time to prepare with My Patriot Supply. And they're back bringing you a great offer for today only. Save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. It comes in a super cool ammo container that has breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, all for you to eat, that lasts up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site, prepare2020.com. And 2020 is 2020. So go to prepare2020.com. Think about it. When emergency strikes, much like it did earlier this year in the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, our first impulse is to run to the grocery store, but the shelves aren't always full. In today's volatile world, you'll likely find chaos and empty shelves. Storing food in your home is a great way to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest, which we have seen too much of lately. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this: don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com. That's 2020.com, and support this great sponsor who is bringing you today's rally. Again, that is prepare2020.com. Prepare2020.com.
Thank you for that, Philip. And you guys can also support Right Side Broadcasting. As you know, we have lots of rallies to get to in the next couple days. Today alone, President Trump is doing 5 rallies. He did Washington, Michigan this morning. He just did Dubuque, I don't know how to say that, but he did Iowa just a few minutes ago, and he's coming to North Carolina, gonna hit another one, and he's gonna hit Rome, Georgia, as well as Miami, all tonight. So we have a long day of rallies. We have lots of rallies tomorrow, and we need your support to get us to all these rallies. As you guys know, we're almost 100% viewer funded, so it really helps us when you guys are able to donate a few dollars to us. You guys can do that at our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And you guys can also donate to our super chats, because I'll read off the messages. We'll do some shout outs all day today. Got good connection this time, so hopefully I'll be able to read more, and you guys can send them into the website. I'll shout those out as well. You guys can also send physical checks to our mailing address in Auburn, Alabama, which I will read off to you real quick. It's 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So again, we really appreciate all of you guys' donations and support. So with that, I will go right into reading off some of the super chats we got in here. Looks like we have 20,000 people watching live. Share this stream with all of your friends and family. That's another way that you guys can support Right Side Broadcasting, is getting your friends and family to subscribe and like our channel, like our videos, send them to all your friends. And like Senator Tillis just said, go on election day and tell all of your friends and family to vote for the president, and tell them why the stakes are so high in this election. So share this stream so that they can hear it from the president himself. So the first super chat I'm going to shout out is from Cheryl L. Right Side Broadcasting shout out. Donald J. Trump, 4 more years. RSBN is the best. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you to Bruce McGibbon, $25. Thank you so much, Bruce. And $100 from Hills Kwong. Great job, Right Side, to replace mainstream media. Thank you so much. It is so vital that you guys can see the full picture, so you guys can be completely educated voters. You can't just go by what the mainstream media shows you, even Fox or CNN and ABC. All these people don't want to show you the whole thing. I mean, Right Side Broadcasting is the only place you can see stuff like this, and it is such a huge effort. We're able to bring this to you guys. So, but yeah, we're happy to do it, and we are happy to be here at the rally today. It's really nice weather. We got a sea of red hats just 2 days out from Election Day. So what do you think about the energy on the campaign trail right now?
There's a lot of people here behind us, all in red hats, wearing MAGA masks, all in Trump shirts. Super excited to see the president as he comes here. And this is happening all across the country. The president made so far 2 stops today before coming to Hickory, North Carolina, in Macomb County, Michigan, and Dubuque, Iowa, and Hickory, North Carolina, and headed to Rome, Georgia, and Opelika, Florida tonight, which is near Miami. The president is expected to do 5 rallies today, which is quite a bit compared to sleepy Joe Biden, who is probably still hiding in his basement for the day, and what he would like to say, put a lid on it. The president is out, he's traveling the country, he's connecting with voters, he's making sure that they hear his plea, why they need to re-elect him for 4 more years as president of the United States. So the president is energetic, his supporters are energetic, they're out here, they're ready to support him as he comes, and they are certainly awaiting patiently a arrival of Air Force One on the airfield here in Hickory, North Carolina.
Thank you, Philip. Yes, he is going to arrive here soon. I know he's running a little late today, so he was scheduled to be here at 5:30 p.m., but he was an hour and a half late to the last rally in Iowa, so we'll see what time he ends up being here, but we don't mind because we have lots to talk to you guys about. I mean, this is my last rally before Election Day, so I'm so excited to see what's going to happen over the next couple days. We got a lot to talk about with voter fraud and how the state of things here in North Carolina. I know it's a battleground state, but it's one of the more red battleground states. So it's despite the fact that they have a Democrat governor and a liberal attorney general that's trying to basically enable voter fraud at this point. That's kind of sorry, my hair is getting in the way. Woo, it's getting really windy here. Sorry, the lights are falling down. But yeah, the stakes are really high here, and the president seems to be doing really well, though. He definitely has narrowed the gap more here in this state than other places like Michigan and Minnesota, for example. I know Pennsylvania is going to be very close, but North Carolina, a lot of averages, so like meaning all the average between CNN, Trafalgar, Rasmussen, ABC, those kinds of polls, the president is up by 0.3%. So you guys can go check that out. But 0.3% is really exciting, and it's also within the margin of error. So it could be more of a toss-up, but we'll see. I've seen other averages that say that Joe Biden is up by 3% or 3 points, but that's all debatable. It's all within the margin of error. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But in 2016, the county we're in is called Catawba County, and it went 66% for the president in 2016. So that's a massive margin, and that's probably why we have so many Patriots here today, because this is a very red county, and the president is going to win this again. He's going to win this state of North Carolina with all the accomplishments he's had, and as you guys know, North Carolina is definitely big on manufacturing, farming, energy, coal mining, things like that. And Joe Biden's policies are just detrimental to all of those industries. So I don't see how this state could possibly vote for Joe Biden, especially with all the things that are going on in the world right now with COVID and with the riots and stuff like that. President Trump is the obvious choice, whether you agree with him on his personality or certain things that he says. It doesn't matter at this point. It's either sleepy Joe Biden, who sits in the basement and has terrible policies that would destroy our economy, or it's President Trump, who is going to revive the economy and bring jobs back and make America great again. So he actually called yesterday's rally, Make America
great again.
Yeah, again. So again, we always appreciate you guys' support at Right Side, so I'm going to read off a few email donations. I just got those in. Thank you to Rodney Wolter. Texas has the president's back here in the Lone Star State. Glad to hear that. They're trying to make it seem like Texas is a swing state. Texas is purple. It's going blue, but I don't think that's true. Do you think Texas is going blue?
No.
No chance, right?
No.
Yeah, so thank you to Patricia Jacobs. She says, thank you, RSBN, for all of the coverage that keeps me MAGA binge-watching our great President Trump, who will win my great state of Michigan again. God bless y'all. Thank you, Patricia. I'm MAGA binge-watching. When I'm not at a rally, I am watching Right Side's rallies at home. So they're just so fun to me, and I like to see the difference between the different states and see like who comes out, what the president has to say, and I know you guys do too. So thank you so much. Thank you to Dennis Penavax. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to loan President Trump to Canada after he finishes his 8 years. I know you guys need a populist prime minister. I know Justin Trudeau is not doing the trick up there. You got socialized medicine, you got different things going on, and that's why America elected President Trump, because we don't want to go down that road of having socialized medicine and things like that. So very thankful, and maybe the president will be kind enough to lend himself to you guys after the next 4 years. Thank you to Barbara and Ron Sunnier. We have used RSBN to view all Trump and President Trump rallies. Good job. God bless. Thank you, Barbara and Ron. Thank you to Teresa Wilson. The mainstream, I think she means, mainstream media is a bunch of traitors. Thank you, Right Side, for telling and showing the truth. Thank you. Thanks to Rodney Wolter again. The Lone Star State has the president's back. That's 2 times, 2 donations in the past 30 minutes. Amazing. Thank you to Azeb. Keep up the excellent job of covering the rally of the greatest president of the USA, President Donald J. Trump. Thank you. Okay, and last one before okay, so thank you to Len Gambino Alwyn, former Democrat for Trump. All that Trump does and the truth he tells and all that RSBN does to support him is so awesome. Thank you, Len. I'm glad to see that we have a former Democrat voting for Trump. And I think that's what's going to make this next landslide. It's going to be a lot of former Democrats and independents and moderates. and people who are usually on the fence but are being persuaded to vote for the president based off of all of the promises he's made and kept and everything he's gone above and beyond to do for the American people. So very excited to see that. Philip, what do you think about this? Was shout out.
People are just saying they love Right Side Broadcast.
Oh, we got some fans in the crowd. People shout us out all day long at all of our events, and we just love the support so much.
Absolutely, we do. And the people of North Carolina, a few people have come up to us, so we thank you so much. The president is not done with North Carolina. This certainly is not his last stop before Election Day. Tomorrow, the president will be in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is about 3 hours east of here, closer to I-95 and the coast, to make remarks through a Make America Great Again rally, or maybe as he would say, a Make America Great Again rally. And then he heads over to Scranton, Pennsylvania, Traverse City, Michigan, and Kenosha, Wisconsin, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Right Side Broadcasting Network will be at every single event, bringing you live, uninterrupted coverage, showing the crowds as we always do. So that is one reason why it is so important to help us keep going. Your donations mean so much to us. Everyone in the Super Chat who donates, we thank you so much, because we are trying to get throughout the country to all these different places where the president is traveling and bring you his rallies live and uninterrupted. Tomorrow, for those of you who will be watching, I will be live in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with some of our other correspondents, Adam and Laura. So stay tuned for that. That will be at 11:30 a.m. Supposed to be at 11:30 a.m. So we'll be live a little bit prior to that, bringing you live coverage of the rally. And then just a rundown on the schedule. Then he has 2 o'clock tomorrow, Scranton, Pennsylvania. 5 o'clock, Traverse City, Michigan. 7 o'clock, Kenosha, Wisconsin. And then 10:30 p.m., Grand Rapids, Michigan. The president has a late night tonight, starting early this morning, and then going tonight till 11:30 at night in Miami, Florida. He will be quite busy, and it appears he'll be doing the same thing tomorrow. So the president is filled with energy. He's ready to see his supporters. They're ready to see him, and he is not stopping. He is in this to win this. The president has not given up. The president did similar things as a candidate back in 2016, going late into the night with rallies prior to the election, making sure that people knew why it was so crucial that he got elected president of the United States. And the case hasn't changed much this time. Now it's just crucial that he gets reelected. And this is the most important election in my lifetime, and probably in yours as well, as we will see. The fate of the country is based on this election. Will we go down a socialist, leftist, extremist road with no law and order and the police being defunded, or what the president has laid out, which are traditional American values, restoring our Judeo-Christian beliefs, backing the blue, secure borders, cutting regulations, stimulating the economy, and cutting taxes, which Joe Biden doesn't want to do. So if you have any question of who you're voting for come Tuesday, let those things kind of sit with you. Let it digest it a little bit and understand what exactly is on this ballot, the fate of America, and the choice has never been more clear.
The choice has definitely never been more clear. I mean, at this point, I ask this question all the time to a lot of my political friends. I'm like, who can vote for Joe Biden? And we all come to the same conclusion. It's not that people are voting for Joe Biden. It's that they're voting against the president, against President Trump. And why they would want to do that, I have no idea. The president has only done good things for Americans. And the only thing that I can point to in the conversations that I've had with people, I actually get conversations with my Uber drivers all the time, but they always say, oh, the president isn't pro-life. He doesn't care about the American people. He let people die, and he's committing. I had someone tell me he's committing a genocide against Hispanic voters, and I asked him. I said, well, I'm Hispanic myself, and I'm still here, and I support the president. So how do you suppose he's committing a genocide on Hispanic voters? And then he backed down, and and all these people's sources that I've talked to, they're all like, well, I watch CNN, I listen to the Young Turks, I like Rachel Maddow, and I'm not making that up. They literally say that to me, and I'm always shocked. I'm like, how can they possibly listen to the fake news still? It really blows my mind. And the only thing that we can do as patriots is educate them. We have to still love them. We can't We can't get mad at them and, you know, not talk to them. We gotta, you know, have conversations and hard conversations and make sure that they are open-minded and can hear what the president has to say. So I think that's really important. Yeah, but now I'm going to read off some of the super chats. We got a lot of them coming in, so thank you guys for your support. We have 34,000 people watching right now, so thanks for getting us up from 20,000 just a few minutes ago. So continue sharing this stream with your friends and family. We're just 2 days out from Election Day. It's going to be very important to listen to what the president has to say in the beginning of his speech, so make sure that everybody you know is tuning in to all these rallies. And yeah, so thank you to Dean Johnson. Repeal Section 230. That is one of my personal favorite issues to talk about, is big tech censorship. It's un-American what they're doing, and they're limiting our free speech. And I saw an interesting quote. I can't quote exactly what it was, but it's saying that by censoring what someone is able to see on or like a tweet that they're able to read, you're also censoring the person who wrote it. And it's true, you're not allowing people to be heard, you're not allowing people to listen. So it's like double censorship, and we need to repeal Section 230. We need to make these tech companies accountable. Facebook, Twitter, they need to be held accountable. Jack Dorsey just goes to these Senate committee hearings and he blows them off, and he just says what he has to say. He avoids, he denies, and it's the typical tricks of the left. They always do this, and it's very disheartening to see that a lot of these people rarely get held accountable. But all we can do is keep trying, and we need to restore justice in this country. What are your thoughts on big tech censorship, Phillips?
Well, it's something that actually has affected me personally. My Twitter has a little bit of a following, and ever since being retweeted by the president, they say that is ultimately the kiss of death. It's probably my greatest badge of honor that I wear when it comes to my Twitter successes, but ultimately they know that when you get retweeted by the president, you're pushing the right message if the president wants to retweet it. So it's been quite hard. I've seen my engagement drop quite a bit on Twitter, and it's not a fun thing to do. It's very frustrating actually to have to deal with. So we have to repeal Section 230. We have to hold big tech accountable, and I think President Trump in his second term would be able to do so when we regain the House, keep the Senate, and win the White House.
Yes. Only 17 seats needed to win the House back and replace the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, who has double standards. She thinks that she can get her hair cut during lockdowns, but you can't. She thinks she can sit up in her mansion in San Francisco and eat $40 ice cream and just stall and delay the coronavirus stimulus packages to the American people. And that's the bottom line. The Democrats and the left, they don't care about what the American people need and want. These people, a lot of people need stimulus packages right now to get by on rent and things like that. So this is a very important thing, and the House Democrats just won't come to the table because they want funding for unnecessary things like the what was that library that they wanted? The Kennedy.
Oh, the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts.
Yeah, the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, and all these different things, various things that are unrelated to the coronavirus, unrelated to economic stimulation, and it's just to get their agenda passed. And it's ridiculous. We need to replace her. So we need 17 seats. And while re-electing President Trump is the most important thing that we can do right now, we also need to remember to elect our senators. We need to keep our GOP majority in the Senate. Right now, I think we're at a 53 to 48 advantage in the Senate. That's only a 5-senator difference, and we don't want to lose any of those seats. I know Lindsey Graham is running a tight race, and I know that a couple of others are as well. But it's very important that we are all educated on, we need to know down the line who we're voting for and make sure that we're getting Republicans in, because this is the best time to be re-electing Republicans, because this is not a normal presidency. This is not George Bush era. This is President Trump era. He's draining the swamp. This is a time where we can actually get things done, and your vote matters. So it's vital that we are able to get the House back and keep the Senate. So make sure you vote for Republicans besides President Trump. All right. So thank you to Rich Bailey. Had enough, California? Our goal is to flip the state in 2 election cycles. I'm from San Diego originally, and I think that's very possible. I see videos all day, every day about people in the walkaway movement and going on Hollywood Boulevard and Santa Monica and other places, and there's huge Trump caravans, and they're out there doing the grassroots activism that Republicans need to be better at, and they're talking to people on the ground, and they're explaining President Trump's policies, and they're talking about why leftist policies are so detrimental, like their policies on homelessness and things like that, things that are destroying California and their economy. So yeah, I think California can go red. So I have high hopes. Thank you to Super Nintendo Chalmers for your donation. And thank you to Ross Rocco Murphy, proudly watching from Dublin, Ireland. Thank you, RSB Network, for your awesome coverage. Hashtag MAGA. Hashtag another 4 years. Thank you all the way from Ireland. That's so cool. Okay, thank you to Callan Shepard, riding the red wave, but that will only happen if we vote to remove all Democrats. It's very true. I think some of them have good hearts, but they don't have good solutions, and that's what we need to avoid by voting Republican. We need to get the better solutions that actually work. Solutions that don't make us dependent on the government and dependent on their various systems, because we want to be independent. Less government is better. It enhances our freedom as Americans that we have the right to have, and I don't want to be dependent on the government for anything. I want to be able to live my life as I want. So that's just me. Some people don't want to do that. They don't agree, but we need to explain to people the importance of that. And you guys can also support us by supporting our partner, My Patriot Supply. With only days until the election, now's the time to prepare, and My Patriot Supply is back with a great offer for today only. Save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. It comes in this super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site, prepare2020.com. Think about it. When an emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? Run to the grocery store? Like in coronavirus? But in today's volatile world, you'll likely find chaos and empty shelves. Storing food in your home is a great way to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest, which we have seen too much of lately. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this. Don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com and support this great sponsor who is bringing you today's rally. Prepare2020.com, prepare2020.com. All right, thank you, and back to you, Philip.
Thank you so much, Grace. I cannot stress the importance enough of how important it is to vote down ticket as well, not just for President Trump come November 3rd, because there are people like Kamala and all her people who are running in the House and in the Senate, that if the president does not secure those things, it ultimately will be a block every step of the way for the president. So please, wherever you are, if you can vote in the United States, please go out and vote to help make sure that the president has an easy and smooth 4 years. We were doing pretty well the first 2 years of his term, and then unfortunately a little blue tide came by, and we lost the House, but I believe that we are going to take it back after all the nonsense that we've seen them do through impeachment and the Russia hoax, and just you name it. They've tried to attack the president every step of the way on false stuff, and the American people are sick of it and they're tired of it, and they will not let that happen again.
That was great. I love that. But it's true. We need to definitely take back the House, get back the Senate. It is going to be very important that we do that, especially in this battleground state. North Carolina, again, like I said, it's very red here, but there are issues with voter fraud. I know that, I believe it's a couple weeks ago, I saw a report that 500 voters here got double ballots. And the Attorney General here, who is a liberal, wants to extend, or he did extend the mail-in ballot acceptance date 9 days from Election Day. That's huge. Why do we need 9 days to continue accepting ballots? Election Day is November 3rd. That should be the cutoff. I don't want to give the left or the Democrats any more chances to take votes away. But thankfully, we're North Carolina, where the president won this state by 200,000 votes. So that's really awesome. Hi
Hey,
there.
how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Everything going all right?
Yeah, everything's going great. My name's Grace. How about you?
Awesome. I'm Michael Watley.
Michael Watley.
Yep.
So we're going to do a little interview.
Perfect.
Awesome. Let me get my questions ready. Okay. Sorry, I think
That work?
Yep.
All right.
Very good. Okay, everyone. This is the chairman of the Republican Party of North Carolina, Michael Watley.
Hey, welcome to Hickory. Welcome to North Carolina. What a great day to show our enthusiasm for President Trump. I think probably got about 25,000 of our closest friends coming out today.
Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of energy here, and I'm really excited to hear your take on exactly what's going on the ground. I know that you obviously have a lot of experience in this state. So I wanted to ask you about the polls. I know the polls have Biden up by about 3.5 to 4 points ahead of President Trump, even though he won this state pretty big in 2016 for a swing state. So what's the energy like here, being that it's technically a swing state? And do you think North Carolinians are going to reelect the president?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we won in 2016 by about 3.5 points. We have more enthusiasm. We have more Republicans that have turned out to early vote and absentee vote than ever. Our numbers are much better than they were in 16 compared to the Democrats. So we feel the enthusiasm. It's very real. I mean, look at this crowd. You know, I think absolutely. And we're seeing this everywhere he goes. You know, this is his 19th visit to North Carolina. We're going to have our 20th visit tomorrow. And you look at, we've had Don Jr., we've had Eric, we've had Laura, we've had Ivanka. We've got Vice President Pence, who's been in for 5 events in the last 3 days.
Wow.
So, I mean, just really the excitement levels through the roof everywhere we go. I think we're going to have a monster election day.
I think so too. I'm really excited for North Carolina, and I know it's a more evangelical state, so I'm excited to see all those voters come out. And I know a story broke a few weeks ago that about 500 voters received double ballots in the state. So, and I know that you guys are going to accept ballots for up to 9 days after the election. So, what precautions, if any, is the Republican Party here taking to combat voter fraud?
Yeah, so we've got a great election day operation team. We've got about 500 attorneys all across the state who we've got ready to go in terms of any problems that we might develop if we see them. We also have about 3,000 volunteers that are going to be poll observers all across the state.
Oh, good.
So we're going to have eyes and ears in the polling locations at all of our critical locations for us. So, but we think that this thing is going to go pretty smooth. You know, we think the Board of Elections has rules from the legislature on how to run an early vote, how to run an absentee vote, and of course election day. And we feel very comfortable with that system. What we don't feel comfortable with is them trying to come in and change the rules after the election has already started. So we've taken them to court a number of times on that, and we're going to keep fighting on those things. But as long as this thing is counted fairly, we're going to do great.
I'm very glad to hear that you guys have a plan in the state to do safeguards and precautions and stuff like that, because I know other states are not so keen on that. And this state is more important than ever, so very glad to hear that. And I know that North Carolina's economy is heavily dependent on manufacturing and farming, fossil fuels, energy. So how do you think voters will respond to Joe Biden's proposed policies like banning fracking and re-shutting down the economy, the country?
Yeah, look, we need to reopen the economy. We need to reopen North Carolina. You know, North Carolina right now is not keeping up with the rest of the country because Governor Cooper has kept us under a very unreasonable lockdown with it. But we strongly support President Trump. We strongly support the moves that he's made to put America first with trade deals. You know, here in North Carolina, we make things, we grow things, we sell things. And we need markets all across, you know, the world really for those products, and we get them with President Trump because he is fighting to put America first. So we're very excited about that, and I think with Governor Forrest, we will have a partner in the governor's mansion to be able to work with President Trump and make sure that the North Carolina economy is going to come roaring back. We do not need 4 more years of Governor Cooper's lockdowns.
Yes, and I was just talking about this on camera before you walked up, and I was saying, you know, besides re-electing President Trump, it's so important that we are electing other Republicans, governors, senators, congressmen. We need to take back the House, win the Senate, or keep the Senate. So it's so important that you mentioned to re-elect a Republican governor to this state.
Yeah, you know, and it's interesting because we're a top-tier state for the president. Obviously, that's why he's been here, and his family has been here as much as they have. and we know we're a top-tier state. But we've got the #1 governor's race in the country. We've got the #1 Senate race in the country, and we're going to re-elect Senator Tom Tillis, make sure that he can go back to be a solid partner with the president as well. And then our courts. We've actually got the most liberal Supreme Court anywhere in the United States, 6-1 Democratic majority, and we got to make sure that we're going to be able to get those crucial seats back on it as well. So this really is the eye of the political hurricane for 2020.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know all that information.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So finally, I want to ask you, what do you have to say to moderates and independents out there who might be on the fence with just 2 days until Election Day? Why should they vote to re-elect President Trump?
The Democratic Party of today is not your grandparents' Democratic Party. This is not a pro-business Democratic Party. It's not a pro-faith, pro-values Democrat Party anymore. This is the party of San Francisco, of New York City, frankly, Europe and everywhere else. We need North Carolina values here, and we need that in our governor. We need it in our senator, and those voters really are coming over in record numbers. We've seen voter registration go down for Democrats. It's gone up for unaffiliated. It's gone up for Republican. So people are leaving the Democratic Party to come over to even unaffiliated, but they're going to vote for President Trump. Nobody has ever had more crossover votes than Donald Trump. I had a guy, 84 years old, come up to us the other day, say, I've never voted in my life, but I'm voting for Donald Trump. And we see story after story about that. And we've had people who've told us, I've been a Democrat all of my life. 60 years I've been a voter, but I'm voting for Donald Trump. So we're getting those crossover votes. And to anybody who's on the fence, even if you don't like Donald Trump's tweets, and honestly, I love him, but if you don't, right, then understand what his policies are about. This is a guy who has rebuilt our economy once. He's rebuilding it again. He's rebuilt our military. He's honoring our vets. He's put conservative judges on the courts, and he's put America first. It's really hard to argue with an agenda like that.
100% agree. Do you have any final thoughts for North Carolinians?
Look, I'll tell you what. We've got our last rally is going to be tomorrow down in Fayetteville. But look at the enthusiasm. Look at what we're seeing here. We hate that when Joe Biden came to Durham, he was able to generate about 10 people sitting in their cars in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Can't compete with this. The enthusiasm is through the roof, and we're expecting a really great day on Tuesday.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Man, thank you.
So that was the Republican Party Chair, Michael Whaley. Yes. So we were very glad to have him on and get an interview. That was very motivating for me personally, and to see that there is so much energy from the Republican Party that they care enough to get an interview and go on Right Side Broadcasting to tell you all exactly how North Carolina is doing. It is a battleground state. It is a crucial swing state for the president to win and for us to gain more seats. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the people in this super chat. I want to thank Isabella Raylander for her $20 donation so much. Tylen, he said Trump wins 45 plus states. And hold on. Walter Campbell, thank you very much. Rolling with DJ Adam said, Right Side Broadcasting is awesome. Thank you so much for broadcasting this rally. Oh, my prayers is President Trump is going to win, and Right Side Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much, DJ Adam. $10 from Ray F. Thank you, Ray F. very much. And Michael Pike said, thank you, RSBN. Trump is the best president ever. Democrats equal socialism. It's looking more and more like that these days. The Democrat Party, as Michael had said earlier, they are not the party of your grandfather. They are no longer that party. They are not the party of JFK. They have moved super left, and they are super liberal. Linda said, thank you, RSBN, for a great job covering our wonderful president, Trump 2020. Linda, we are committed to covering every single rally live and uninterrupted, and we will continue to do so up until Election Day in every event that he has. Grace, you just did that interview. What are your takeaways as a resident of the state of Florida? How do you think the president's doing there in that battleground?
Ooh, I love to talk about this because I just moved to Florida a few months ago, so I've been paying special attention to that race there, and I think he's doing great in Florida. Every time he goes there, everywhere he goes, he always packs his arenas, and he always has a little overflow and things like that. But in Florida, it's always massive. Like, it's huge there. There's so much support, and when I go to Florida, honestly, I just feel like I'm breathing freer air. And I know that sounds so cheesy, but compared to where I came from in California, you can walk outside in Florida and wear like a Trump shirt or a Trump hat or something like that. You can, like, I'll tell you a story. I was sitting at this restaurant on the water in Florida and in Palm Beach area, and a barge came by, and it was a huge barge with huge Trump flags all over it, and everybody I was next to at the restaurant started chanting 4 more years, Trump 2020, things like that. So it was just such an open atmosphere that everybody felt good enough about their beliefs there to be able to do that. So that was pretty cool. But as far as numbers-wise goes, President Trump is winning with Hispanics in Florida. He's winning with seniors. He's protecting people who have issues with big pharma and pre-existing conditions, and that's very important to seniors in Florida. President Trump is taking on big pharma and lowering drug prices significantly with his most favored nation executive order, so that's very important to them. And the president just announced a few days ago the American Dream Plan, which is going to primarily benefit Hispanics, and it's going to invest millions of dollars into Hispanic communities, and so that's going to be obviously huge to Floridians. And the president has a rally there in Miami tonight, so I heard that they're already lining up, and they have been for the past couple hours. So there's a lot of enthusiasm in Florida. I think he's going to win it bigly, as he would say, or big league. Which one is it? Big league or big league?
I can never tell if it's Big League, B-I-G-L-Y, or if it's Big League, like Major League. But I can't tell, but it doesn't matter. Either way, Big League, Big League. The president, I think, is going to win in an electoral landslide when it comes November 3rd, just Tuesday, which is less than 2 days away from now. The president has committed himself to making sure that he is in every state, being present, and I think that is what is going to deliver the victory for the president. I recently saw a meme where it said, it was a picture of the United States, and it was blank, and it said the electoral map, and then someone said, I'm getting my red crayons ready to color in every single state that goes red. And I truly think that there will be a massive red wave come November 3rd, and you heard it from the chairman that he thinks there is going to be a red wave here in North Carolina. And real quick, I want to go ahead and talk about our partner, My Patriot Supply. With only days left until the election, now's the time, like we have said, to prepare. And My Patriot Supply has your back, and they are going to give you a great offer. Save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. Comes in a super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinner that lasts up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site. That's prepare2020.com. Think about it. When emergency strikes, much like it did earlier this year, your first impulse is to go to the grocery store. But ultimately, in today's volatile world, you usually find chaos and empty shelves, and that's no good. Storing food in your home is the best way to protect your family in case of natural disasters, civil unrest, or many other things like a global pandemic like we had this year, which we have seen too much of. If 2020 has taught us anything, it is don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com. That's prepare2020.com, and support this great sponsor who is bringing you live coverage of today's rally in Hickory, North Carolina.
Thank you, Philip. And as you guys know, we have lots of rallies coming up over the next couple days. It's the final stretch, so please help us. You guys know that we're almost 100% viewer funded, so all of your donations count, and we really appreciate all of your support and prayers and everything that you guys do to help Brightside Broadcasting and all of our correspondents and cameramen, and especially our CEO, Joe Seals, who is very sleep deprived right now from booking all of our travel. But shout out to him, and please continue to support us, and you guys can do that by going to www.rallies.com www.rsbnetwork.com/donate, and I can shout you guys out. I'm going to read some in just a few minutes. And you guys can also donate to us on our YouTube Super Chat. However, YouTube takes about 30% of the profits from that. So if you want to, if you want 100% of it to go to us, again, you guys can go to our website, rsbnetwork.com/donate, or you can mail a check to RSBN at 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. And that is also on our website. So you guys can find that there, and please follow us on social media and share this stream. There's some lights coming in; they're super bright, but sorry, it's a little blinding.
Wow. Those are bright lights.
Very bright. We'll have to adjust lighting in a sec, but sorry, it's just super bright.
At least we'll have good lighting on our
I know. Seriously. But yeah, you guys can follow Right Side Broadcasting on all of our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, and Facebook. We're on all of them. And that's at RSB Network on all those platforms. And you guys can follow me. My name is Grace Saldana at GraceSaldanaa. And where can people find you, Philip?
You can find me on my social media platforms at Philip Torino. Philip is with one L, so it's PHILIP, Torino, TIRINO, on Instagram, on Parlay, on Twitter, which I'm having a hard time with lately. So go ahead and follow me on Parlay, because that's a great way to combat Twitter. I'm starting to become more active on it, which I haven't been for a while, but with censorship happening and Jack Dorsey sticking his hand in everybody's Twitter accounts, I'm becoming more active on Parlay, so please be sure to follow me there. And like Chris was saying earlier, follow RSBN on all of our social media platforms at RSB Network. I always like to use the saying that back in the day, paper subscriptions were so important because that is how companies kept going, and if they didn't have the subscriptions, they weren't able to keep going. It is much similar these days, except with social media is the dominant force, and ultimately a follow or a subscription on our platforms takes us a long way, and it gets us far. Sharing our platform takes us, and we will continue to bring you uninterrupted coverage of every single Trump rally. So again, please go ahead and follow us on social media at RSB Network, and we will be at every rally here for you and every event that President Trump has, covering it live for you. I'm not sure when the president is set to arrive, but the crowd is starting to... Okay, she's checking Twitter. The president is set to arrive here soon. It is a beautiful night in North Carolina. It is a little breezy and it is cool. I was just in Pennsylvania yesterday and that was cold. So I'm glad that it is cool here tonight and able to just kind of enjoy it in just a suit. And Grace, you're wearing like a jacket. It's quite comfortable. It's not freezing, so people can actually stand here and wait for the president without having like 50 layers on, or in Miami's case, they'd be sweating. So this is kind of the perfect weather to have a rally in. And, you know, ever since COVID started, people have been, they've been having the rallies outside so that people lower the transmission of the virus, and people are encouraged to wear masks when they're here at the rally. There are signs posted outside. So people are comfortable, they're here, and they're putting their First Amendment right above everything else to make sure that they're able to support the president and they get to hear from the president of the United States here tonight.
I know all of you guys are super excited to hear from the president tonight too. I'm going to go off and read some email donations. Thank you to Joanne Dizuela. Thank you for bringing us every rally. I hope you're in President Trump's press pool for the next 4 years. Prayers for him, all patriots, and our greatest nation, USA. 45 in 2020. Yes. I know that Right Side Broadcasting will be here the rest of the way if President Trump is reelected. And thank you so much to Sue. Thank you so much for keeping all of us informed. We appreciate all your hard work and only wish the best for President Trump for another 4 years. Shout out to Chris Snyder. Thank you, RSBN. War Eagle, Trump 2020. I know our cameraman is very happy about that message right now. Every time I'm with him at these rallies, he's always watching their games. So, yes. Thank you to Ken Dyson. Vets for Trump. Love the broadcast. Thank you. Shout out to CT. President Trump will win 335 electoral votes, also the popular votes. God did it. Now, just a little comment there. The president won in 2016 by 305 electoral votes, so that's 30 more electoral votes, and I wonder what states those will come from. We'll see what happens there, but I definitely think he's going to get the popular vote in many, many states. Thank you to Steve Eishen, says thank you. Shout out to Kathy Zimmerman. Thank you, President Trump, 4 more years. Thanks to Don Flint, Right Side Broadcasting. We appreciate your dedication, patriotism, love for the USA, and freedom of speech. God bless you and your awesome team of correspondents. Thank you so much, Don. Thank you to Stacy and Greg. They say, thanks for broadcasting every rally. We love you and watch every rally on our TV. You are awesome for doing this. My 92-year-old mom watches you on her phone. She is so happy. That's so cute. That's so sweet. I love that. Thank you so much. Thanks to Anna Bellitz Powers. God bless you, young Americans. You are doing a superb job. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Anna. And I'll pause on some emails. I'll read more in a little bit. But because Philip is a current college student right now, what do you think about your friends? What have you heard from people your age?
Well, I think people who are college age or they're students, I think that they like President Trump. They like his energy. Young people do not like sleepy, boring things, and that is exactly what Joe Biden is. And it's hard for young people to get behind a candidate like that. And if they are Democrats, people I know who support Joe Biden, they do it out of a lack of better options. They always say, well, anybody but Trump. And that's not exactly the best mindset. Enthusiasm is what wins elections. And if you're doing it just as an alternative to what is there right now, I don't think you're going to have the best turnout come November 3rd, because you need to be enthusiastic about a candidate. Joe Biden has no energy behind him whatsoever. And I think young people are looking for energy. They're looking for people who are vibrant. They're looking for candidates who have kind of that dragon energy that President Trump likes to talk about. Yes, and things that are new. Yes, they do not like dormant and old. And I think President Trump is delivering a new message. He's changing the Republican Party in many ways that people were looking for. This was the lifeline that the Republican Party needed, was President Trump to bring a new message and restore the message of the Republican Party, because before it was kind of the old sleepy party and the Democrats were the energetic ones, but now we are the energetic party, and you can tell that just by looking out into the crowd behind us here today. There is energy. People are here to support the president, and that is exactly what the president needs to win this election, is support. And I don't know if you could see it, but over there to that gate where people are walking in, it is just unending. There is people gushing in that gate, left and right, coming in because they want to see the President of the United States. And pretty much every inch of the rally area here is getting filled up with people from wall to wall and side to side. So there's energy for this president, and that is what young people are looking for. And I think that's ultimately why President Trump is going to have a victory delivered to him on November 3rd.
Yes, 100% agree. And on what you were just saying a couple minutes ago, or 1 minute ago, the Democrats have become the establishment, and they always like to frame themselves as the anti-establishment. You know, they're for the people, they're for the little man, but they're not. Everything, all their actions that they've taken have been against that very idea that they have been using for years to convince people to vote for them. And yes, like if you think about history and look back at like the 1960s and things like that, yeah, maybe like during the hippie era, the Democrats were on the side of gaining more civil rights for certain marginalized groups, but that era is no longer. We're living in a time where everybody has equal rights, and that's what President Trump stands for. So it's a new time. The Democrats need a new platform that actually works for the American people and actually serves the purpose of, you know, working on behalf of the little guy, the working man, in the blue collar. And that's what President Trump represents again. And kind of like here in North Carolina, the president has promised to bring manufacturing back and continue to working on behalf of farmers. these were forgotten groups of people that the left had worked for years to destroy. They don't want to have mining anymore. They want to outsource our manufacturing jobs. And our farming jobs. So they want to give all of our jobs away to foreign entities like China and Russia for energy and things like that. So that's why I think President Trump's platform is so attractive, because he's America first all the way. Everything is about doing things on behalf of the average American person, not the elites, not the bureaucrats, not the DC swamp, not the 47-year Joe Biden types. Those people have had it too good for too long. They forgot why they're there, and maybe they never even got elected to serve the American people in the first place. Maybe from the start, they wanted to just line their pockets. So, but again, back to the president. That's why he's going to win the state of North Carolina, and that's why he's going to get most of the swing states. The only one I keep saying is maybe not Minnesota, but we'll see what happens with that. I think the vast majority of swing states the president is going to win. So, very excited. And we just have 2 days left. One more day of rallies. Tomorrow, we have 5 tomorrow? 5 tomorrow. So I think he's going back to
Wisconsin, Michigan. Here, North Carolina
tomorrow morning.
It's going to be North Carolina again.
So we got a bunch of good rallies coming up for you guys, and we will be here every step of the way, reporting to you and showing you the full crowd that the mainstream media does not want you to see. And we want you guys to make up for yourselves. We want you to make up your own mind. Think for yourself. We're not going to think for you. And that's what the mistake that a lot of the mainstream news outlets do way too much. They try to create their little edited narrative, and they show you one picture, just like, a couple of days ago when the president had a rally. I think it was in Michigan. I can't be too sure, but anyway, he had thousands of people waiting to come in, and then last minute the local leadership there limited it to 250 people. So optically, when the cameras showed the crowd, right, there's only a few people in the arena. They're like, oh, President Trump doesn't have any enthusiasm for his campaign just 3 days before the election. It's like, that's not the case at all. He had a massive overflow. So they just try to make up their own narratives, and they want you to believe what they want you to believe. And that's why I'm reporting Right Side Broadcasting, and that's why Philip is reporting Right Side Broadcasting, because we want to be part of the new wave of the new news. We want to show you the whole thing, the unbiased version, because people are going to seek that out. People are waking up. They don't want to see the edited version of what CNN shows you. They want to see the whole thing. So, yeah, I think we should read off some more donations. Do you want to do some super chat?
Go ahead. For sure. Go ahead and give this a second to update itself, and then I will start reading some of the super chats. I want to thank Jerry D for becoming a Lincoln Club member. For Madeline, for your donation, thank you so much. Madeline, means a lot. Stefan says 1 million Serbian Americans for Trump. Keep the peace deals going. Trump 2020. Ramon, thank you, Ramon. We appreciate your support to help keep us going. Brian said, pray that a youth see the light of our President Trump. Yes, absolutely. Not only our youth, but our college students and young people in this country. Evan said, watching from Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm sick and tired of mask mandates here. Dan Forest and Donald Trump need to win North Carolina. We just heard from Dan Forest here this evening talking about how he would end mask mandates at 12:01 on January 1st when he assumes the office of governor of North Carolina, which he's hoping will happen after a victory on November 3rd. Thank you, Mike, for your donation. We appreciate it a lot. Beth, welcome to the Trump Club. And we just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your support, as it really does help us get to every single rally. What we're trying to do is 100% unprecedented. We do not have the mainstream media engine behind us, getting us to every single rally. We are truly a grassroots media company, and what we are doing has never been done before, and it is because of your help that we're able to accomplish this. And we have not missed a rally yet this season, and we will continue to not miss them. We will be at every single one with correspondence and making sure that we give you live uninterrupted coverage, and of course that we show the crowds, because that is one of the things that people love most about Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Yes, those are all the things that people love about Right Side, and that's why we have so many dedicated supporters who always come out to the rallies, and they talk to us from the crowd, and they shout us out in ways. So it's so much fun, and we just thank you, all of you, for supporting us. And because I want to tell you a little bit about our partner today, which is My Patriot Supply. With only days until the election, now's the time to prepare, and My Patriot Supply is back with a great offer for today only. Save $30 on their most popular one-week food kit. It comes in this super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to the special site prepare2020.com. Think about it, when an emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? To run to the grocery store? But in today's volatile world, you'll likely find chaos and empty shelves. Great ways to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest, which we have seen too much of lately. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this. Don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com and support this great sponsor who is bringing you today's rally. Prepare2020.com, prepare2020.com, prepare2020.com. I have that memorized. So thank you so much, guys, for all of your support. And the president is supposed to arrive in about 17 minutes. That's the time he is scheduled for. It's 5:30 p.m. Eastern. But I don't know when he's going to be here exactly, because he's running a little late today. So we could be up here for a little while, and I'm going to keep checking Twitter for you guys, and I'm sure we'll get some press pool updates soon and see when he's going to be here. But after this, he's heading to Rome, Georgia, then he's heading to Miami, Florida for a late night rally at 11:30 p.m. This man's energy is unmatched. I can't imagine being the president of the United States at 74 years old, just beat the coronavirus, and he is running just the craziest, the most unprecedented campaign effort ever. I think five rallies in one day is actually record-breaking. I think his previous record was 4, so this is going to be a crazy next couple days, and that just shows you how dedicated the president is to working for the American people. And he donates his entire salary too, which is another thing that often goes unreported and unremembered. He doesn't get paid for this. Everyone likes to say that the president is so selfish and he only does things for his own best interest and his family name and stuff like that. But he's not the one taking bribes, and he's not the one making deals in Ukraine like Hunter Biden is and like Joe Biden is. And we've seen a lot unfolding with the Hunter Biden emails and things like that. But still, my point is that President Trump is doing a lot for being unpaid and losing net worth. So we owe a lot to this president, and I think the American people understand that, especially here in North Carolina. We're seeing this massive crowd. If I were to guesstimate, I would say how many people do you think are here? Like 25,000?
I would say about 25,000 people, but notably one of the most telltale signs, we aren't sure exactly when the president is going to arrive here, but over my left-hand shoulder on the podium is the seal of the President of the United States. I do like to mention this every broadcast that I do, because it is a telltale sign that the president will be here and he will be arriving shortly. So when that gets put on the podium, it is exclusively for the president, and the president will be speaking at that podium any moment now. We're going ahead and zooming in on that for you so you can see it. It is quite a beautiful seal. Has an eagle there holding the Constitution and a few arrows. So it is really an awesome seal, and it is just such a classy seal, and it represents the office so well. And the honor that you have when you get to speak at that means that the people have elected you to be their leader, and I think that the people are going to re-elect President Trump for another 4 years to be their leader, and he will stand behind that podium again. The crowd here is getting so large that people are starting to overflow outside of the gates. There was an entry gate to behind the camera here. There was an entry gate where people were coming in, but it seems that it has now gotten full, and there are people lining up on every inch of grass that they can get. Some even sitting behind the porta potty to try and get a view of the President of the United States, because I mean, really, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get to see the President. Grace, how many times have you seen the President, and what rally number is this for you?
I think this is rally number 8 for me. I've seen the President at other times outside of this because I also work with Turning Point USA. So I've probably 10 times or 11 times. So I've seen him quite a few times, and he's always just so energetic. And one thing that I like about him is that he always keeps things in check. He keeps us grounded. When the news tells us one thing, he keeps it real. And he's like, no, it's not like that. It's like this. And he likes to talk about all the promises that he's kept. And it's not to tout himself as like a narcissistic way like CNN would probably tell you. It's to remind everybody that, look, I made this promise to you guys 4 years ago that you guys elected me to keep, and I kept it. And here's when I did it and how I did it. And he loves to just tell all of us about those accomplishments, and those are so important to remember when you're talking to people. So there's really good resources, like the whitehouse.gov website has a list of all of his accomplishments, as well as there's an account called 140 Reasons, and they list by category all the accomplishments of the Trump administration. So it goes down by minorities, women, jobs, healthcare, all these different things. And those are so important to know when you talk to people. So yeah, we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But it's very exciting, and I love going to the swing states. It's fun to be able to be on the campaign trail like we are, and talking to different people, and just seeing the kinds of people that come out. And at this rally in particular, there's just so many people. They're dancing around, so many Trump shirts and red hats here, and I think it's just a lot of people that know that President Trump is the right person for the next 4 years. They know that he can get the job done. We had a great economy before the coronavirus pandemic hit, and he's the only one who can restore it. Do you guys really think that Joe Biden can restore the economy or revive it? No, his policies directly conflict with that. He wants to re-shut down the country. That's definitely not going to do anything for the economy, and plus it's tax policy. So yeah, no.
When I talk with every liberal friend of mine and I ask them to give me 10 reasons why they're voting for Joe Biden, or accomplishments that Joe Biden has had since he's been in politics, they're unable to list it. They say, well, he's the better option than Trump. Well, I hit him with, well, I could give you 140 reasons why I'm voting for President Trump. And I just think that it is quite a sign of the times that we can give 140 reasons why we're voting for President Donald J. Trump. And when we ask them to give us 5 or 10, they can't deliver 5 or 10 simple facts about why they're voting for Joe Biden. It's because he hasn't accomplished anything. He is a swamp creature who has been in Washington, D.C. for 47 years, has been all talk and no action, like President Trump would say in 2016. The people in 2016 were tired of that. They didn't want another swamp creature to be their president. And I think the same thing stands true in 2020. They do not want a swamp creature as their president. A person who has done absolutely nothing, who has created practically no jobs except for only the members of his family and the people around him. And he also hasn't made anybody else rich beside himself. And even if he had the opportunity to save Americans money, Joe Biden says that he would cut the Trump tax plan, which has been so successful in putting money back into the pockets of Americans, middle-class Americans and lower-income Americans who are just trying to make it by. I think it's so important to recognize the fact that if you are struggling to make it by, the thing that's not going to help you is government regulation and higher taxes. It's going to hurt you more. Your jobs are going to be cut back significantly, and you're going to be hurt more than you're going to be helped. So I think if you have no other reason to vote on November 3rd, perhaps the most important reason is keep money in your wallet. I don't know who likes to give away money. I don't like going somewhere and saying, oh, here's money for everybody. And that's just not a fun feeling. And I'm not sure why Democrats think that's something that they could get behind. I personally don't stand behind giving my money, my hard-earned money, out to people who aren't working or people who don't deserve it. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of socialism and wealth redistribution and high taxes. And they might like to say that they're not socialists or they're socialist Democrats or whatever kind of fluffy words they like to use to convince you that it's actually a good thing magically somehow. It's really not a good thing. And even though they might not say it's socialism, they'll say, oh, we're going to raise taxes on people over 400K, which actually means it gets raised on everybody else. But they don't want to promote that because they know that the American people will reject socialism. And people like to forget that America is a nation of immigrants, legal immigrants, but they're a nation of immigrants. We're a melting pot. And a lot of people come here to have better lives from other countries like Venezuela, Cuba. Those are the common places, but historically they've come from all over the world to escape places that don't give them the kinds of freedoms and rights that America can allow them to have. That's why we're such a great country. We have something called the United States Constitution, which is my favorite pamphlet, book, whatever you want to call it, document in the world, because it very plainly lists all of our God-given rights. They're not privileges. They're not things that we have when the government allows us to. They're inherent rights. So we have the right to freedom of speech, the Second Amendment to bear arms. We have liberty and all other kinds of civil rights and things like that. So these are such important things to remember, that people came here to flee countries that promote communism and control. So we don't want to bring that kind of government style here. And that's what President Trump stands for. And I love when he says America will never be a socialist country. It's such a powerful statement. It directly lets the radical left know where he stands and where the people who vote for him stand. It's not going to be some easy takeover for them like they think it's going to be. So, and I also love that he stands up to the globalists. He says there is no global anthem, there is no global flag. And that is so important to me because, again, it's another America First policy that we need to put our country and our people first, not other countries, not the World Health Organization, not Iran, and give them billions of dollars in pallets of cash like the Obama administration did. That's just unacceptable. And we need to, like the President said, we are going, in the next 4 years, make America great again. And that's what he stands for. So I think we should read off a few more super chats because it feels like the president is getting close. I have no reason to believe that other than my little feeling here and the fact that the seal is on the podium.
I keep turning around looking for him, for the plane to land. So when the plane does land, we will bring it to you.
Yes, we will let you guys know as soon as it happens and we'll show you on camera. But thank you to all the 67,000 people watching the live chat right now. Help us get to 100,000 before the President of the United States takes the stage. And share this with all of your friends and family and make sure that people are watching tonight. Again, who knows when the last time or next time that we'll be able to we'll see this. This is a very important campaign trail and everything that the President says right now matters. So make sure that all of your friends and family are tuning in. So shout out to Phil Turner, 2020 donation. I love that. Veterans for Trump, thank you for your service. Thank you to Victor J, love from California, Trump 2020. Thanks to Roy McCollum III, wake up Sleepy Joe, vote for Trump. Thank you to SF. Joe Biden just tweeted that he wants to take away our quote-unquote assault weapons. Gun sales are through the roof, even in California, due to the riots. What on earth is he doing? This is political suicide. Here, that's the thing. What's interesting about what you just said is that the Biden campaign has been very, very quiet and silent, hush-hush on their plans on guns. And I actually wrote a full article. I work for a company called Freedom Wire News, so you can go to freedomwire.com and see all my articles and subscribe. It's free. But I wrote a full article about Joe Biden's gun platform. He basically wants to do a full gun buyback. He wants to take away our quote-unquote assault weapons. He wants to tax gun owners. He wants to limit how much ammunition you can buy and all kinds of things. I highly recommend that you all go to Joe Biden's website and read what he wants to do to guns, because if that doesn't turn you right around from even considering a Joe Biden presidency, I don't know what does. Because one thing that the founding fathers were very much opposed to was disarming the American people. They understood that if the people are armed, the government can't go on with full tyranny. And that's what I see as like the last stand between the Democrats getting what they want in a presidency. Say Joe Biden got elected, the only thing he would need after that is to take away our guns. Then he can do anything he wanted. So it's very important that we maintain our Second Amendment right and continue to arm ourselves. And we've seen a historic amount of people purchasing firearms and ammunition and stocking up in places like California. And even with minorities, I believe Hispanic and Black gun ownership is up, it's skyrocketed. So the Bidens want to take away the guns, and we can't have that in America. So,
real quick, before you talk about that, I want to thank Johnny Reb on Parlay for helping me out. My vision is in 2020, so I couldn't exactly seal the logo up there as best as I could, though. There is 13 arrows, but I stand corrected. It is not the Constitution. It is an olive branch. So thank you very much, Johnny Reb, for tweeting that at us so that we can bring you the most correct details of the presidential seal. Again, my apologies. Could not see that perfectly.
It's okay. We forgive you. All right. Thank you to... Oh, I got lost. Let me get back. Rolling with DJAdam.tv. Right Side Broadcasting is the best. It would really mean a lot to me if you played one of my songs on your broadcasting network. We'll see if we can make that happen for you. Thank you to Roni Zen. Thank you, RSBN, for your hard work. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, a double donation. Thank you twice. Keep sending in your donations, you guys. I will try to shout all of them out as soon or before the president takes the stage. So keep sending them in. As you guys know, we're almost 100% viewer funded at Right Side Broadcasting, and we work really hard. Our CEO works really hard to bring all of the correspondents and cameramen to the rallies. So we appreciate all of your support in any way that you can, whether it's sharing this stream with all of your friends and family or donating directly to us. And you guys can do that by hitting the super chat button on our YouTube channel or going to our website, which is www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. And I can read shout outs from there too. So you guys can donate on our website or super chats, or you can do it at our physical location in Auburn, Alabama, which is RSBN 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So yes, and you guys can also follow Right Side Broadcasting on social media at RSB Network on Twitter, Facebook, Parler, and I know I missed one, Instagram. There it is. So, and you guys can also support My Patriot Supply. With only days until the election, now's the time to prepare, and My Patriot Supply is back with a great offer for today only. Save $30 on their most popular one-week food kit. It comes in this super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to the special site, prepare2020.com. Think about it. When an emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? Run to the grocery store? But in today's volatile world, you'll likely find chaos and empty shelves. Storing food in your home is a great way to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest, which we have seen too much of lately. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this. Don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com and support this great sponsor who is bringing you today's rally. Prepare2020.com, prepare2020.com, and that's My Patriot Supply. So again, thank you everybody so much for your support. And the president will take the stage very, very soon. Can't wait to see what he has to say tonight. I hope he has a good election update for us. And you guys can also follow myself, Grace Saldana, at GRACE Philip at
Philip Torino, at PhilipTirino on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Parlay. If anybody knows how long the plane flight is by chance from Iowa to North Carolina, feel free to drop it in the chat, and we would love to see, just so we can give you a rough estimate of when the president's going to be here. I know that's kind of like weird information to know, but hey, you never know if somebody's going to know when exactly the president's going to be here. Interesting, this morning when we were here setting up, Air Force 2 is here. From what I understand, Vice President Mike Pence was in town, and we saw Air Force 2 sitting on the airfield here in Hickory, North Carolina. I'm going to go ahead and read a few of the super chats. Mary Beth King said, prayers and intercession all over the U.S. and globally today at churches everywhere for our nation and our president, Donald J. Trump. God bless you, RSBN. We love you, and thank you so much. MAGA 2020, well, we love you. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. T donated $10. Thank you very much, T. We appreciate it dearly. Stuart donated $10 as well. Thank you, Stuart. Arjan donated he said, Thirth, try getting my super chat through from Holland. Let's go, Red Wave. Thank you so much. And John said, we love you. Keep fighting for us. We love you, and we will keep fighting for you. And we need you to go out and vote so that we can keep President Trump in office on November 3rd. As great as this all is, if we don't have the people to go out and vote for Republican candidates up and down the ticket, unfortunately, none of this will make that much of matter if we don't go ahead and reelect President Trump. Stevenson, I know y'all are exhausted. We are almost home. Love you guys. We love you, and we are a little tired, but that is what caffeine and energy drinks are for, and good meals help get us through. And we will, yes, and good company. And we will continue to keep fighting, and we will head to every Trump rally, give you a live, uninterrupted coverage, as we have always promised to do here at RSBN. So thank you so much. We're fighting for you. We are out here, and like I always say, what we are doing is unprecedented. The mainstream media has a massive funding machine behind them that we do not have. We are a grassroots media company, so every donation goes a long way. Grace, what are some ways that they can donate to help RSBN on the road?
Yes, so like our viewers know, you guys can donate to us on our super chats or our website, www.rsbnetwork.com/donate. So with that, I'm going to read off some email donations. So thank you so much to Pooney, who says, voting for biblical principles. Yes, and I'm going to say this, America is founded on Christian principles. A lot of people don't like to believe that, they don't want to hear that, but it's true. We wouldn't have these rights if it wasn't for the Bible, if it wasn't based on biblical principles and what God had in mind for humankind. So thank you so much to Pooney for that message. Thank you to Kayla Din. She said, MAGA, North Carolina for President Trump. A local North Carolinian, one of those. Thank you to Isaac, Heather, and Robert. Thanks for playing the sounds of a rally before and after the president gets there. It's so energetic, especially when Air Force One lands and the president comes out and when YMCA is on. We love when YMCA comes on too, so. We love the coverage at the Dubuque, Iowa particularly. Great job, RSBN. We love the president here in Michigan. Everyone needs to get out and vote Trump 2020. Thank you so much for that message, you guys. I personally, my favorite moment is always when the president steps on stage. Initially, they play God Bless the USA by Lee Greenwood. I just love that song because it embodies what America is all about your family, about freedom, and about loving your country. So I love that the president comes out to that song. It makes me feel really nostalgic and patriotic. And I love God Bless the USA. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you to Sally Martell. Love that you young people are so enthusiastic for Trump. You do a great job and we always watch you. Thank you, Sally. Thanks to Dawn Annis. We appreciate RSBN's hard work. And thank you to Patricia Harrison. Thank you for getting the right message out. Can't wait to re-elect the president and fire Nancy Pelosi. I can't wait to fire her either. Thank you to Dragon Bunjabak. Good job, guys. Excellent job. Thank you. You are the best. You guys are the best. If it wasn't for our supporters, this would not be possible. Thank you to Ralph Wall. God bless RSBN. You guys rock. Your coverage of Trump rallies is awesome. My whole family across Louisiana and Florida are watching RSBN. We are praying for you to replace CNN. By the way, I bought 4 of the 1-week emergency food kits. You supported my Patriotic supply. Thank you so much for supporting our partner and Right Side Broadcasting. And I love that you guys watch all the rallies because I watched all of them too. And you know, it's just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're not going to be able to see another campaign like this, so might as well watch as much of it as you can. Thank you to Remy Hernandez. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Thank you to Lou. Republic enemy number 1, Nancy Pelosi. Thank you, RSBN. Thank you to The Rock. Thanks for all you do. Thanks to Lynn David and Joyce B. Really appreciate the great work RSBN is doing. Praying for each of the crews that are crisscrossing, keeping us in the loop. Praying for the best presidents ever, Donald Trump, that the Lord will continue to give him godly wisdom, discernment, strength, and good help. Thank you so much for all the prayers. We need all the prayers that we can get to get all of our crews to all of the rallies in a timely event, get all our equipment there. You know, we've had a couple hiccups, but we've been able to still get everybody to our rallies. So your prayers are working, and we really appreciate all of your support. Okay. Thanks to Frankie D. And one more for the next couple minutes is thank you to Vicky Hassel. My brother told me about you yesterday, and I'm so excited to have an alternative to national media for watching Trump rallies without interruption that shows the crowds. Love it. I will support you going forward and hope all conservatives will see how important your work is. God bless you, God bless President Trump, and God bless America. You see what a simple share can do, you guys? You gotta bring people to the light. Share this stream with all of your friends and family so that they can see what we're doing at Right Side Broadcasting and what the president is doing on the campaign trail. We're just about, we could say, 48 hours out from Election Day, so I can't wait to see all of you guys go out and vote in person. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, there is less than 48 hours, and there's certainly less than that till President Trump arrives here in Hickory, North Carolina, which I said earlier is in the northwestern part of the state, northwest of Charlotte, by just about an hour. The crowd here is anxiously awaiting the president, but also waiting extremely patiently. It appears Air Force One may be flying over. Just the plane taking off? Okay. That was extremely a big letdown. I know, we were waiting for the president. But the people here, nevertheless, are still waiting for the president to arrive. It is absolutely filled in here. I mean, we've showed the crowd already, but this is just unbelievable. Like they said, the president had won this by quite a bit, Grace said, in 2016, and I guess based upon this turnout, he's going to do it again in 2020. And the Trump campaign's method to how they're handling this election, from what I've heard, is that they're basically going to try to keep everything they had and then just add more. And if you think about it, that is quite a winning strategy, because if you won last time and you just win all that, you're going to win again. But now they're just trying to add stuff on. So it appears that that might be the case here on a November evening in 2020. The president's campaign saying, we already won here, but you know what? We're going to come back. We're going to win it again. And then going places they haven't won through some battleground counties, like they were in La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is a heavily Democrat city, which turned out for Hillary Clinton last time. But the president hoping maybe he could flip a few people there and win the county and help him win Wisconsin.
Yeah, the county we were in yesterday, in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, it was light blue in 2016, and they're hoping, obviously, that will be flipped. And when the president was there yesterday, he said it's going to flip in a big way. It's going to be a big red wave in that county. So I certainly hope that he is right, and all we can do is wait and see. The only thing I'm worried about, just like the president is voter fraud. That's why it's so important that we are not mailing our ballots. And I've been watching some early voting numbers in states like Florida, and there's a lot of Republicans voting by mail. And I know that, COVID is a scary thing right now, and I know it's dangerous for a lot of people. So if you feel safe, please go out and vote in person. Don't give the Democrats a chance to commit voter fraud and change your votes. This is a very real thing. It is verified to happen. It's not a myth like CNN says it is. And ballots can be easily changed. It's just all they have to do is pretty much, well, there's a few ways they do it, but I'll say the main way. They can take ballots from like the UPS workers, and they can steal them, or they can steam them open, take the ballot out, put a new ballot in that they've made hundreds of copies of, and just submit that as your vote. And if you don't want that to happen, you gotta go vote in person. So, but either way, this is what I honestly think, that the president is going to see a massive red wave in America, even if there is voter fraud, because voter fraud is primarily happening in states that are blue already, so they don't even really matter that much. Of course, we want to see fairness, honesty, and integrity in our elections process, and I think it's vital that we restore that, because we can't have millions of people distrusting the democratic process or the public process in this country. So we gotta do a lot of work to fix our political system and restore integrity in this country. So but even with voter fraud, I think the president's still going to see a massive red wave, and he calls it the Great Red Wave, because everything with President Trump is bigger and better. So big red wave coming.
I think there is a big red wave coming. Even in some areas which we think are usually Democrat, I think are going to flip, especially in the Senate and in the Congress in those races. I think they're going to go for the president. Ultimately, in his favor, they're going to go red and they're going to go conservative, which is going to be a huge win for America, because if we are able to regain the House, that will be one step in the right direction for unrivaled American prosperity. We are already the envy of the world in every single way possible, militarily, economically. Every other country wants to be us, and that is only because we're under the leadership of President Donald J. Trump. Then imagine what it'll be like when we control the House, we have the Senate, and we have the White House all at the same time. It will be truly a unstoppable machine, the United States. And I think ultimately, in regards to the whole COVID-19, I think we're going to be able to hold China fully accountable if that's the case, because we have to remember that China was the one who sent us the virus. We were in the airport yesterday, Grace and I, and we were talking to the baggage claim lady, and she said that when she heard President Trump call it the China virus, and they said that he was racist for calling it the China virus, and he said, no, it's because it's from China. She said she thought that was the realest moment she's ever heard from the president. And I think it's so true. It's because it can't be racist, because that's where it's from. The virus is from China, therefore it could be called the China virus because that is where it originated. So I think once we get over COVID-19 and we have a House and a Senate who are going to be willing to work with the president to hold China accountable for all that they have done and really the doom and gloom on which they have brought upon the world, we are going to be an unstoppable machine. And I just look forward to that day, because I think that finally the Republicans are going to get over themselves. They're going to put their pride aside, and they're going to be willing to work with the President of the United States. That wasn't something that was easily done in 2016. From 2016 to 2018, there was a lot of Republicans who had pride, and they could not put their pride aside. They couldn't put their ego aside to work with the president, because they were so hurt that he won, because they thought he was going to be horrible for the Republican Party, when that turned out to be absolutely 100% unequivocally wrong.
Yep. So that's a little lost time that we got to make up for. So we need this next 4 years so that the Democrats are not able to just go in and undo everything the president accomplished for the country. And I know that's exactly their plans. And I really hope that the president has taken his executive orders and turned them into legislation that is signed and passed, so that the Democrats can't just go in and undo everything. And why would they want to? I honestly, this is why the president always says the Democrats are not for the people. They don't love the country, because if they did, they would be doing things for the people, and like they're elected to do. This is a country of the people, by the people, and for the people. So obviously all of our elected officials should be working in our best interests, but they're not. They're working in their own interests, in their own special interests, with their little sweetheart deals with other countries and all this collusion that they accuse the president of doing when they're the ones actually doing it. So they gotta go. They gotta get him out. And to your point, we would be a complete powerhouse if we took back the House, had kept the Senate, had a Republican president, and a conservative Supreme Court majority. That would be wild. It would be unstoppable, honestly. And that's a good thing, because we would be able to lower even more taxes and cut more regulations. The president has actually cut 8 regulations for every new regulation he's added. That's a massive feat. And nobody else has been able to do it. And the president is a go-getter. He wants to get things done, including the border wall on the southern border. And a lot of people like to forget that, because it was like one of the biggest campaign promises of 2016, and if people knew that he kept that promise, then they would vote for him. And the Democrats don't want that to happen, so they're not going to report on it, unfortunately. So he's kept a lot of promises. I could be here all day going into just everything that he has done for the American people. But I guess while we're here, I want to highlight a couple things that fly under the radar a lot. Let's say the war on human trafficking and the war on drug addiction, like opioid abuse and things like that. The White House has pioneered efforts on tackling those issues, and nobody wants to talk about it. Before the coronavirus happened, the epidemic was opioid abuse. And I know that the First Lady Melania Trump was working very hard to allocate funding and create programs to help people who are struggling with that kind of issue. And also Ivanka Trump has been working very closely with the Attorney General William Barr on the effort to combat human trafficking. That's a huge deal. They've actually been able to rescue 150, just about that many children who were trafficked in Ohio and in Georgia, here in our own country. This is not happening across the border. It's happening in the United States of America. And so if for no other reason, it's important to re-elect this presidency in order to continue those efforts, because I don't hear Joe Biden having any kind of plan to combat opioid abuse and to combat human trafficking and things like that. So again, this election, the stakes are so high here, and that's why it's just so important to continue spreading the word with all of your friends and family, and continue to tell them why this presidency is so important. So with that, I'm going to read some more super chats. We have 88,000 people watching right now, so thank you guys. We're almost at 100,000. Maybe we'll break it. I'm sure we'll break it for sure when the president comes on, but I want to break it before he comes on. Let's see if we can get to 100,000. That's my dare to all of you guys watching at home. Send this to your friends and family, your brother, sister. You know, I have some liberal family members, and I send my stream to them, so yes. Thank you to Ken Janoski. Trump loves America. Dems love power. Vote red. That is so true. Dems love power. That's been the whole theme of this year. It's just how power hungry they are. People like Gavin Newsom and Nancy Pelosi. They'll do anything to maintain power and control of the American people. Thank you to Brett Luckfeld. Make America great again. Yes. Okay. Thanks to Bruce Kwong. And thank you to Andy Johnston. Canada for Trump. Thank you, RSBN. And thanks to all who are getting out and voting. I love all of you patriots. Oh, and he sent a 1776 donation. I love that. 1776, best year. From Truckin' All Day, a California President Trump win will send a clear no Harris 2024-2028 message and no to their leftist policies. Since 1988, we Californians have voted red just like the Dodgers win. So good, Cali. 100% agree. Thank you to Design by Architect. Make New York red again. That would be a sight to see if I ever saw New York go red.
It did for President Reagan.
It did for Reagan?
Yes.
So did California. It went red for Reagan. So I'm telling you guys, 2020 could be that next red wave since Reagan era. So we got to make it happen. Okay. Thank you to Jim Lubeski. Trump forever. We love you, President Trump. Thanks to RSB for all you do. Thank you, Jim. Thanks to Ralph Peebles. Thank you to Dr. Wonderful. Fire Fauci, a CCP supporter. Not a lot of Fauci fans out there. Shout out to Ryan Tatro. Thank you for covering what might be the most important movement in our nation's history. Oh, I see people like waving. Oh, I see a helicopter. Everyone is wondering if that is going to be the president's helicopter, but I don't think it is. It's a little small. Yeah, too small to be Marine One. Okay, and thank you to South Carolina. Four more terms. He or she said that 4 times, so I love that. We're at 90K now, guys. 10 more thousand, and we'll be at 100. But our all-time record, I think, is 152K. I'm not super sure on that number, but help us break the record. That would be amazing. Thanks to Donald Schoolcraft. Keep up the great work. Freedom of the press. Love the Constitution. So do we. All right, and thank you to Melissa Weinert. Vote red. Remove every Democrat. Love my President Trump 2020. Okay. Thank you to John and Sue Ellis. Thanks for the truth. Thank you guys for supporting. It means so much to us. We wouldn't be able to do it without you guys.
Of course. And we also are thankful for the support of My Patriot Supply. We have said it before, but we're going to say it again. With only days until the election, now's the best time to prepare. And My Patriot Supply has your back with a great offer for today only. You can save $30 on their most popular 1-week food kit. It comes in a super cool ammo canister, and it contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site, prepare2020.com. So that's prepare2020.com. Think about it. When emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? Run to the grocery store. But in today's volatile world, oftentimes the shelves are empty and there's chaos everywhere. Storing food in your home is a great way to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest, which we have seen way too much of lately, even a global pandemic. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this: don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com and support this great sponsor who's bringing live coverage of President Trump's rally tonight in Hickory, North Carolina. Again, that is prepare2020.com. That's prepare2020.com. Thank you so much for everybody who's watching. I think I see we're up to 91,000, and it means so much. We are so thankful for all of your support as we're able to get to every single Trump rally because of you. My hands are getting a little cold out here without gloves on. I want to thank, again, Rolling with DJ Adam. He said we're the best. And when you say we're referring to Right Side Broadcasting. It would really mean a lot if you played one of my songs on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Well, thank you so much, Adam. It means a lot. Jim gave, and he said, Trump forever. We love you, President Trump. Thanks to RSBN for all you do. We also want to thank Ralph for his donation. Thank you very much, Ralph. Dr. Wonderful said, fire Fauci. Ryan Tatro said, thank you for covering what might be the most important movement in our nation's history. Also want to thank Sandra. She said, thank you for your great coverage of the Trump rally tonight. It's wonderful to see so many bright, young, conservative voices. Well, thank you so much for that. Sandra from Brand, she said, Trump 2020, God bless. Robert said, thanks, RSBN, for all you have done. See you if you ever come to Illinois. David said, Trump equals freedom. That is very true. The Democrat Party is the party of socialism, and President Trump supports freedom in America. George said, God for Trump. Michael said, I'm voting Trump to secure the future of my nephews Landon and Hudson. That is the best thing that you can do. Thank you very much, Michael, for doing so. Thank you, Don. Mary said, praying for President Trump 4 more years. Neil said, your network is doing an awesome job broadcasting the Trump rallies. Vote Trump on Tuesday. Thank you very much, Neil. And yes, definitely go out and vote for President Trump on Tuesday. It will make a difference. Karen said, God bless our beloved POTUS. He definitely is blessed. He was able to recover from the coronavirus, and he's continued with energy to go to 5 rallies a day. So I would say God's blessing is upon our president, but we continue to pray for him most definitely. Newark, Delaware supports Trump 2020. Thank you, Elliot, very much. Scott said, 4 more years, make liberals cry again. Roger said, I am 75. Biden is a pervert and Trump is wonderful. Thank you for what you are doing. Kurt said, I have just discovered you folks through a friend. God bless President Trump and God bless the United States of America. Most definitely, God bless the United States of America and President Trump. Gloria said, thank you, Right Side Broadcasting. You and our warrior president are great. We are fighting every single day. Jennifer said, go Trump, vote red, remove every Democrat. Thanks to RSBN for showing all the entire Trump rallies. We show every single Trump rally, and of course we always shows the crowd at the Trump rallies. So continue to tune into RSBN for the next few days. We will be at every single rally. We will have correspondents covering them, and you're not going to want to miss live coverage here on RSBN.
Yeah, so we have 2 more rallies today. I already feel like it's the end of the day because the sun's setting here. It's actually really pretty over there. It's like we got with some orange and blue colors setting over the North Carolina welcomes President Trump sign. So it's quite a beautiful sight. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures going on social media yesterday at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally, but those pictures were amazing. A crowd of almost 60,000 patriots who are ready to re-elect President Trump, and it was just amazing. So we're seeing so much enthusiasm in the movement, and I'm so excited to see this win. Like I said earlier, I don't think that we are going to have delayed results, and especially here in North Carolina, because it seems like the more red swing state of the group versus like Minnesota, Michigan, Ohio, Florida, things like that. So we will see what happens with the swing states, and we are going to take a short break. We're going to kick it back to our CEO in studio, Joe Seals.
All right, you're looking live at the scene in Hickory, North Carolina. This is our 3rd campaign stop of the day, and we'll be headed next to Rome, Georgia, and then to Miami. That Miami rally tonight, I know it's late. It's 11:30 on the East Coast, but everybody that can watch that rally should watch that rally. I have a feeling that one's going to be massive, and I have a feeling that some leftist minds are going to be exploding tonight when they see the amount of Hispanics and different minority groups who are supposed to vote Democrat, right, out for President Trump. I've been sent a few pictures and videos, which we'll post soon, but it's pretty incredible. The scene in Miami, that's an 11:30 p.m. Eastern start. But next we'll be in Rome, Georgia. Coming up, Liz Willis and Lilith Vanetzian are coming up. Vanetzian are coming up next from Georgia, and Grace and our cameraman Will and Grace, and Philip Torino doing a great job. Listen, we just want you to know how hard we are working for this president, for you, for our country. This is very difficult for me personally because I haven't slept very well, probably in 3-4 weeks. We've been getting consistently 3-4 hours of sleep if I'm lucky. And so that's probably what you haven't heard from me as often. And but I want to tell you, we're working very hard out here to make sure the president's message gets out to the people, because mainstream media, we know what they've been doing. They've been doing it to this man since 2015, and that's why we got involved in the first place. And so we're just extremely blessed and happy to be here at this moment in time. This is what we offer. This is what we bring to the table. Everybody brings something to the table, and what we bring to the table is, we show you things that you didn't know existed because mainstream media won't show you. We're live hours before anyone else is, and we show you the entire size and scope of the crowds, and you hear the pledge, the national anthem. You actually get to see what it's like to be at a Trump rally without actually being there. So that's what we do here. And we're very proud to be on this to have this platform, and to have the recognition of people like the President of the United States, who has thanked us recently on Twitter, and also people close to the president who have sent us messages and said, thank you. We appreciate what you're doing. And it means a lot. We don't do this for recognition. We do it for love of country and for you, because you help us get there. So I appreciate y'all more than you know. And I'm going to let Grace and Philip take us home until President Trump arrives. Thank y'all again. God bless. Enjoy.
And we're back. Thank you to our CEO, Joe Steele, for those few words. And we're expecting the president in just a few minutes, I'm guessing. I'm just going to go with it and say we're expecting him in a few minutes here, because his estimated arrival was about 5:30. But as we know, he was a little delayed, so we'll see him soon. But yes, we are in Hickory, North Carolina, and in this county, so we're in Catawba County. I know I'm butchering that. Sorry if you are from North Carolina, but we are in Catawba County, and they voted 66% for the president in 2016. So this is a deep red area, and I think that's going to reflect the state on election day in just a couple of days. And I know that there is a lot of people who are worried, because you look at the mail-in ballot counts versus the early voting count, and you see that primarily Democrats turned out in the vote by mail, and then mostly Republicans turned out in the early voting. And while there are more people who already voted by mail and not as many who voted early, we're going to see a rush of people at the polls on election day. I'm convinced. I mean, I personally am also waiting to vote on election day, and just because I feel like it has some significance, I just feel it's not right to vote early for myself. I don't know, but I'm like a history buff, so don't listen to me. But I will be voting on November 3rd. I'm actually flying all the way back to California to vote in San Diego. I want to be part of that group of people who turns the state red. I mean, I have high hopes. We'll see what happens. But yes, so the president is probably going to talk about manufacturing and mining and the energy industry and jobs here, because those are the kinds of industries that affect North Carolina the most. Manufacturing is a big deal, and Joe Biden wants to outsource our jobs to China. He wants to ban fracking, eliminate the mining industries, fossil fuels, and that's just not the right way to go. Like, yes, we should help the environment and do policies that restore our environment, and the president is doing those things, but that's another thing that goes unreported. I was talking a little bit earlier about policies the president has taken on that go unreported, and that's one of them. Everything he's done for the environment. I'll just name two right off the bat. So there's one called the Save Our Seas Act, which is legislation he signed in 2018 that goes to protect our oceans that are, the Pacific Ocean on our west coast, the Atlantic Ocean on our east coast, and it goes to reduce pollution in the seas. And he also signed the Great American Outdoors Act, which restores public lands. It expands public lands. It gives us more access the land in America that we live on, so that's kind of cool too. He's done a lot for the environment and in protecting the environment. Just because we have fossil fuels does not mean we can't protect the environment. It's not, the two are not mutually exclusive. We can have two at once. And here's the other thing. We can't just immediately go into using something like solar power, for example. We have to be able to build up that industry. It needs to be able to handle a massive amount of 350 million people on solar power grids before we can fully go to that kind of thing. Same thing with wind energy and with hydropower energy. And all these alternative energies just can't, it's not sustainable right now. So the bottom line is right now, at this point in time in America, we still need fossil fuels. We still need to have those industries, and we can't afford to outsource them, and we need to keep the jobs for the American people. And that's what the president represents. He represents a lot. I mean, that's the thing. You can't just point out one thing the president has done. Like, for example, you could say that about Barack Obama. He had pretty much one accomplishment, and that was the Affordable Care Act. But it's like, can you think of anything else that he did? I can't think of anything else he did except give billions of dollars in cash to Iran and make our soldiers steal. But President Trump would never, ever stand for that. In fact, the president is bringing our troops home. He is making peace in the Middle East, in Muslim-majority countries. He is taking out terrorists. He defeated ISIS. He's doing so much for our foreign policy. It's unbelievable. And that's just foreign policy. I mean, we could get into all of the other policies that he's done for America in different industries. And so we could talk about foreign policy. We could talk about the economy, healthcare, education. He's done a lot for education. He believes that school choice is a civil rights issue of our time, and it is. We can't have this indoctrination that's going on in many of our schools. That's not happening in all of them, but it's happening in enough of them to where we need to start fighting back. We let the left have the education system, and it's time that we stand up to them and take it back. I think Republicans got too soft, too relaxed, and they were like, oh, it's okay, it can't be that bad, can't be that bad. But now it is that bad. They're teaching the 1619 Project. They're teaching that white children are not as good as black children, and they're trying to teach all this racism, and it blows my mind that people aren't fighting back against this already. But again, the president is fighting for us, and he is fighting to just take away things like the 1619 Project and implement things like patriotic education to teach people the right perspective in history. And not even the right perspective, it's just the truthful perspective of what actually happened in America, what our history actually is. And every country has their faults, they have their mistakes, and those are things we have to own up to, and we have owned up to. But we are not the old country we used to be anymore. We're not a racist country. We are a country of equal opportunity. So it's important that children grow up to learn these things. I've been on college campuses a lot, and I've tabled a lot with Turning Point USA, and always have like socialism sucks stuff, and the people who are most opposed to our tabling is the professors. The professors hate socialism sucks stuff. They hate taxation is theft and stuff. And they only want you to know what they want you to hear. And it's crazy. The students want to hear it, the teachers don't want you to hear it. And that tells you a lot about the state of our country. We can't have people brainwashing and indoctrinating our college students, our high school students, the young children. We have to take education back. We need to take all the institutions back and make them great again. And that is what President Trump is doing.
I think President Trump is doing such a great job, and he's facing attack from these liberal professors and liberals all together because of the job he is doing. They know that he is succeeding. They know that his message is resonating with young people, and that is why they have to go on the defense against President Trump. They know that his message is working. That's why they do the things they do, and they have to carry out such vicious attacks on college-age conservatives, because if college-age conservatives start to tap their buddies and show them the truth about what conservative ideals are, we will be able to secure a Republican country for quite some period of time, because we are the next generation of voters, and they do not want that. They want to further institutionalize and use the education system as an indoctrination machine against college-age students. And there's a helicopter coming in right now. I believe that this is Marine One. There's Ospreys flying over right now, which is, I guess, another part of the Air Force. I'm not super sharp on all my military helicopters, but that is a good sight that the president will be here momentarily. Here's another Osprey flying over here. If you pan the camera, we'll be able to see. There it is, another Osprey coming in. Not quite sure what these are for. I couldn't tell you, but I guess we will see what they are for in just a second here. The President of the United States set to arrive any moment, whether it be one of these helicopters or it be through Air Force One. We will see when the time comes. There's been no sign of Air Force One yet around here, but people are definitely in place. If you look down the runway, there's police with their lights on. There's military and law enforcement all around on the roofs, making sure that the president is safe. So it is only a matter of time before the president arrives here in Hickory, North Carolina. The crowd is energetic. The music is getting louder. People are getting more amped, and they are ready for the president to arrive any moment here. Everyone had their phones in the air, taking videos of the Ospreys as they flew overhead. Grace, what are you most excited to hear about from the president today?
I am most excited to hear about how the race is going, because that's what's most important right now. Personally, we know about all of his great accomplishments and how he's taking on the radical left and draining the swamp, and I need to know how we're doing. I'm getting antsy, I'm getting anxious in the next couple days leading up to the election, but that's also because I watch a lot of news. So I'm sure not all of you guys are as nervous as I am, but the stakes are so high. I really want to see a President Trump re-election happen. I want to see the great red wave, as the president puts it. And yes, so I'm very excited to see that, and that's my favorite moments of the evening. So looks like Marine One is going to be coming in soon. It's not going to be Air Force One. Usually when the helicopters come in, it's going to be Marine One. And I don't think there's enough space to land Air Force One back there, but we'll see what happens in the next few minutes. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about our partner, Patriotic Supply. With only days until the election, now's the time to prepare, and Patriotic Supply is back with a great offer for today only. Save $30 on their most popular one-week food kit. It comes in this super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site, prepare2020.com. Think about it. When an emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? Run to the grocery store? But in today's volatile world, you'll likely find chaos and empty shelves. Storing food in your home is a great way to protect your family in case of natural disasters or civil unrest, which we have seen too much of lately. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's this. Don't get caught unprepared. Make a plan today. Go to prepare2020.com and support this great sponsor who is bringing you today's rally. Prepare2020.com. That's prepare2020.com. Prepare2020.com. It's My Patriot Supply. So thank you guys so much for supporting our partner and supporting our Right Side Broadcasting. We work really hard to bring you guys all the rallies and full wall-to-wall coverage of the before the event. We try to get you interviews when we can. We show you everything unedited, live. We don't give you any spin. We don't cut and edit and things like that. We give you the whole thing. So So thank you guys so much for supporting, and you guys can support us by donating to our website at www.rsbnetwork.com/donate, and we can also take donations on our YouTube Super Chat, which I can shout you guys out there. I can shout out the email donations as well, and you guys can also mail a check to our physical location in Auburn, Alabama, which is, you can address it to RSBN 1550 Opelika Road, Suite 6, Box 344, Auburn, Alabama 36830. So thank you so much for supporting us. I'm going to read a few more donations before we see Marine One come in. Give me a sec. I'm going to check the YouTube too. I hope that we're at 100K. We got a couple more rallies today. Ooh, we surpassed 100,000. We are at 108,000. So thank you so much for sharing this live stream with all of your friends and family. Continue to share it. Help us break our record. Let's break our record today. Let's break it right now. We have a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm. In our short break here, we were talking to someone on the risers, and they've been covering rallies since 2016, and they were saying, well, we have to, but I personally was not there. They're saying from personally being there was a ton of energy in 2016, but there's even more now. And that's a really good comparison to hear, because, you know, I want to see that more people are coming out for the president, that he didn't lose support. And in fact, I think he's gained double the support, honestly. We're going to see the great red wave, and I can't wait to see it happen. I am just chomping at the bits. Thank you to Benjamin Smith. Love seeing those Ospreys. The Marine One inbound. Thank you, RSBN. Back the President, back the blue. From Benjamin Tyler Smith, author of Blue Crucible, Pro Cop Adventure ebook available on Amazon. Thank you to Hitesh Patel, 2020. I love that donation. 2020, 1776. Those are so much fun. Oh my gosh, there's so many coming in. Okay, I'm going to read all of them. Thanks to Jim Penn. Biden, since you won't be elected as President of the United States, here is $10 towards your first paycheck from your next job. A hair salon quality treatment head sniffer. Hopefully at a salon Pelosi doesn't ruin. That was the most savage message I've ever read. I'm screenshotting that one. That was good. Thank you, Jim. All right.
We may have some action.
Oh, we have something coming in from the left of our stage. Can't quite make it out yet. I'm going to keep reading a couple donations till we know exactly what it is. Another Osprey. Cool. All right, thanks to Chef of the Future, $100. Thank you so much. Thank you to TJH. We the people for Trump. We the people, indeed. All right. Thanks to Big Salute to the Salty Army. RSBN rocks. You rock. Thank you. Thank you to Terry Mallon. Wow, guys, over 100K without POTUS on stage. Thank you so much for your super hard work. God bless you all. Thank you, Terry, for your support. Help us get past 150K. Let's see it happen, guys. 2 days until the election. These are the last campaign rallies from President Trump that you will ever see. Make sure all your friends and family see it too. Okay, and I got a little lost. I'm back. Okay. Thank you to JC Briggsy from Holland. Please go vote red. I'm a refugee Iraq girl. My parents died in the Iraq war under Biden Obama. Please vote and save the USA. I'm so sorry to hear that. Thank you so much. Thank you to Edward Laszlo. Thanks to Fernando Izquierdo. God bless America and President Trump. All presidents. Okay, one sec. Okay, I want to clarify that I meant this is the last few rallies of the campaign. It's not the last Trump rallies ever. It's just the campaign particularly because he can't run again in 4 years from now. So sorry I didn't clarify that well enough, but yes, only campaign rallies. I'm sure he will have many more rallies to come in the next couple of years for you guys to see, and we will be there every step of the way. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank Thank you to John and Sue Ellis, Shinpon, Maine for Trump. We love you. Thank you so much. I go back to the beginning. Thanks to John D. There's so many donations coming in, you guys. We just really appreciate all of your support. You guys can follow Brightside Broadcasting at RSB Network on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler, and Facebook. Get us on all of them. We want to hear you guys. We want to see your comments and your likes. So we love talking with you guys. So thank you so much for supporting.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Grace. A lot of action happening here. Nothing from the president yet. Unsure of where he is at this time, but I imagine he will be here in just a matter of time. The military ospreys have flown over. I believe some people have gotten off them, White House officials, because I've seen some movement going around there. So just a matter of time, the president will be here. It's quite amazing. I'm like still in shock about how many people are here braving the cold. It's gotten significantly colder out here since we got here. I'm really wishing I brought my jacket because it is a little chilly. But people have their phones up in the air. Everyone's trying to get a picture, trying to take a snapshot of this election and what this event means to them. This will probably be the last event of the 2020 campaign season for many people. Just trying to remember it, and I think that is something so awesome. And Joe Biden wishes he could pull this crowd. He wishes people were this enthusiastic about him, but they aren't, and that's unfortunate for Joe Biden. That's what's going to make him lose on Tuesday. So people are here. They're excited to see the president. I'm at a loss for words because this is just so cool. There's so many people here. Even in the midst of these conditions, people are here. So thank you so much, President Trump. People are waiting for you. So anytime you get here, we're ready. We're broadcasting every Trump rally uninterrupted. There's something coming over here. I believe that is, I can't tell what it is. Some helicopters. It's Marine One flying above the event. Right there, that is Marine One, ladies and gentlemen. One of those carrying the President of the United States of America. He'll probably land here any moment. So probably just flying over, wants to see the crowd. I know you want to see the crowd too, so that's why RSBN is here for you. And the President just flew over in Marine One. I presume he's on there. There's a Marine out there waiting to take the President, escort the President off of Marine One. So they'll probably do a loop and they'll come right back around. And when the President does land and gives his speech here in Hickory, North Carolina, we will bring you live uninterrupted coverage of that. It's always so cool to see Marine One fly over. I've seen Air Force One quite a number of times. Not that much though for Marine One. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, how they land it, where they bring it, and how the President gets off and greets the crowd. People are energetic, they're excited, and they're ready to see the President. Grace, what do you, there's a certain like energy you feel when the President comes around, whether it's Air Force One or Marine One, based upon your experiences and your encounters. Describe that feeling for some people who maybe haven't felt that before.
There's a definite difference in feeling between seeing Air Force One and Marine One. I really love seeing Air Force One because it's such a massive, beautiful plane. It's a beautiful, beautiful plane, as President Trump would probably say. But yeah, it's huge. I've looked it up before, and it has like multiple levels in the plane. Like there's an upstairs and downstairs. There's like a full meeting room. There's all kinds of crazy things inside that plane. You guys should look it up. It's really huge. But I just think it's so like majestic to see the President land in Air Force One and have it parked right behind him on stage. It's just such a cool thing to see. Marine One is also very cool to see. It's just like it's the President's helicopter. What gets better than that? It's better than seeing the motorcade. I love the Beast too, but Air Force One and Marine One beat the Beast. Yeah, so he will be here very shortly. We're very excited to see the President, and we'll see what he has to say. He's been doing this all day long. He started, I think, at Michigan where it was snowing. So a little warmer here, and then he's going to head to Georgia, then to Florida, and it'll be warmer and warmer on the way down. So
Marine One has made its way back.
Oh, Marine One is circling on its way back. We think it's Marine One. I'm pretty sure it's Marine One. Got a couple of them coming through. Yes, that looks like the president's helicopter. And the people are cheering. They're so excited to see it come in and land. They want to see their president, the president of the people. Oh, there's another one. It's a little slower, but it's making its way over. There's so much security at this event. I can definitely tell you that the Secret Service has for sure ramped up through the election for obvious reasons, but yes, we're very excited to see the president take the stage. In North Carolina, again, it's a battleground state, but we were just talking to the chairman of the Republican Party just about an hour or two ago, maybe by now, and he is very, very optimistic about the future of North Carolina under President Trump. They have a Democrat governor here right now who is not well liked due to his lockdowns, and they also have a liberal attorney general who doesn't seem too keen on fighting voter fraud. He actually did extend the mail-in ballot acceptance date for 9 days after the election. So for 9 days after November 3rd, North Carolinians can actually mail their ballot in and it will be counted. And it's like, why is that necessary? You have to ask yourself that. The only reason I can think of is if they want to take the votes. But, well, I mean, I'm not accusing anyone of anything, but we'll see what happens in North Carolina. Marine One is rolling to the stage. I think we have eyes on it right now, but it's rolling behind the little barrier of trucks that we have here right now, and it's gonna sit right behind the podium.
And guys, please do not forget to share RSBN's live stream. This is one of the last campaign events of the 2020 season, one of President Trump's last campaign events. Grab your friends, grab your family, tell them to hop on the stream to watch a live, uninterrupted version of President Trump as he is here in Hickory, North Carolina. He's right there on Marine One, as you can see. We have 119,000 people. If we get like 40,000 more people, I'm pretty sure we're going to break the record. So share it with your friends, share it with your family. This is an absolutely historic moment that you are not going to want to miss. This is a great moment in history, and when you're watching it, you can capture it and think about it mentally. It's not going to be the same when you're watching it tomorrow morning on the lamestream media. You want to be watching it live and in person, or you want to be watching it live and uninterrupted, and for the people here watching it in person, it is absolutely historic. Share the stream, share with your friends, and we are going to break records here tonight with this absolutely historic event. I guess we're just waiting here a moment for the president to depart from Marine One. Not sure exactly the logistics of what they're doing, but it'll be any moment the president will be getting off that helicopter, that Marine military helicopter, and taking the stage here in Hickory, North Carolina. And as soon as he does do it, just know, Right Side Broadcasting Network, we are here for you. We're showing you the crowds. We're showing you the crowds outside the rally. We're showing you the crowds inside the rally. We're doing the things that the mainstream media refuses to do. So please share this link. Follow us on all of our social media pages at RSB Network. You will not regret it. I can promise you that. Just like I said, waiting. It's more of a waiting game now. To me, it sounds like they just turned off the engines on Marine One, and as soon as the president departs from that aircraft, we will show you him. Usually he doesn't step out until the propellers have stopped, or else it'd be a little windy. There's debris flying around right now in the rally, some leaves and dirt and stuff. So trying not to get it in my eyes as we look to see the blades are slowing down. Slowly the propellers are slowing down, and it's just a matter of time before we see the president give his reason why North Carolina should re-elect him for 4 more years to be president of the United States, really coming here to make his message, make his plea as to why he should be president. And when that does happen, we have it here for you. We will bring it here to you. Might have got juked a little bit because we thought that was the plane, the helicopter he might have been on, but it could be that one. We just don't know. They do this, I guess, for security purposes. They have multiple helicopters that look exactly the same, and one of these President Trump will depart from, and as sure as it happens, we will be here bringing it to you in the midst of this cold night in Hickory, North Carolina. Certainly not the coldest event of the day. The president in Michigan earlier, and it was snowing and 0 degrees. So we feel for the president when he was there and our crew who was in Michigan. We got to say props to you guys because that requires a lot of strength and a lot of determination to make it through the night and through the day there. And at least it's not snowing here at night. So we have a few things to be grateful for. I guess we'll use hand warmers, keep our hands warm as the president delivers his message here in Hickory, North Carolina.
Yes, it's a little chilly here, but we are grateful that it is not 0 degrees, and we are very grateful to see President Trump very soon. You always know that he's about to walk out when all of his entourage is off the plane, or off the helicopter. So wait until you see a bunch of people flooding behind the stage, then you'll know the president is coming on in just a minute or two. So until then, I want to spend the next couple of minutes reading off some of your donations and shouting you guys out. So we are at 126,000 on the live chat right now. We just need about, there's someone, we have the military coming off the plane. So the president's about to be here any second now. He's gonna walk off any second. So share this stream, get us, we just need about 30,000 more freedom-loving patriots to be watching this stream to break our record. Help break the record before November 3rd, you guys. We're at 128K. Wow, jumped so fast. All right, I'm going to read off some donations. Thank you to Ellie Angelova. Stop the brainwashing of our youth. Socialism is destructive and oppressive. MAGA 2020. Thank you to the VIP ERCJ. Thank you for showing us what no other media will. God bless you. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Lucas after. Oh, I think they're about to announce. Very shortly. But I would say probably.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
This is a very big crowd. Wow, look at this. Hello, North Carolina. Hello. 2 days from now, we are going to win this great state, just like we did last time. That was a big, you were the one, right? You were the one that put us over that hump. And we're going to win 4 more years in the White House, our beautiful White House. With your vote, we will continue to cut your taxes, cut regulations, support our great police, protect our Second Amendment, defend religious liberty, and ensure more products are stamped with that beautiful phrase, made in the USA. And next year will be the greatest economic year in the history of our country. Under my leadership, our economy grew at the fastest rate ever recorded, 33.1% just announced. We created a record 11.4 million jobs in the last 5 months. While foreign nations are in a free fall, we're creating the world's greatest economic powerhouse. A recent Gallup poll just came out, found that 56% of Americans say they are better off today than they were 4 years ago under Obama and sleepy Joe Biden. And I want to tell you, it's really windy up here. Oh, thank goodness you have a president that doesn't need teleprompters, because these things are virtually useless. They are blowing all over the place. That's true. They're blowing all over. We had, we started off today 2 great places. We went to Iowa. I tell you what, we had in Iowa, we had the coldest, windiest, but it was warm because the people were warm, and we're going to win Iowa very big. Very big. But we had a couple of cold stops today. One was so cold, we talked about refugees. We said if they come in, they're going to say, I want to go back immediately. It was so cold. If Biden and Harris get in, the economy will collapse and our country will go into at least a free fall, but probably a depression. They want to raise your taxes. They want to take away your Second Amendment. They want to do lots of things that I don't think you can stand for. I don't think you can stand for. Fracking doesn't pertain so much to it. It does pertain in a different way to you than it would to Pennsylvania. They're taking away your fracking, but what they're really doing is your energy costs are going to go through the roof. That will be very bad for this incredible state. They want to massively increase regulations, send your jobs overseas, destroy the suburbs. Well, we're keeping the suburbs. I got rid of the regulation that would have destroyed the suburbs. They will bring it back worse than ever before. Terminate religious liberty, eliminate school choice, outlaw private health care, and shred your Second Amendment, take away your guns, and indoctrinate your children with anti-American lies. Biden has vowed to abolish U.S. oil, U.S. fracking, natural gas industry. Look at what he's talking about doing. But it's not him. He's shot, okay? It's not him. It's the radical left. It's the radical left. Energy prices will explode, and that will cripple our country. We right now, energy independent, what we have going, we've never had before. Biden's energy ban will send every state from North Carolina to Michigan to Pennsylvania into a very, very severe problem, and we're not going to have it. We worked too hard. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country, and then the plague came in from China. It came in from China. They should have never allowed it. They stopped it from going into China, but it came to us and Europe and the rest of the world, and we're never going to ever forget. We will never forget. But now we're building our economy back up, and it's going in a V, but it's really a super V. As long as I'm president, we will remain the #1 producer of oil and natural gas on the planet Earth, and we will remain energy independent. Our opponent's agenda is a war on workers, a war on faith, and a war on our great police. Biden says he's running as a proud Democrat. I'm running as a proud American. Thank you. Thank you very much. By the way, I just have to say this. So we had something incredible happen 4 years ago. This is more important, and there's more energy. The crowds are bigger, everything's hotter, and it's really, but this is actually, and I never thought I'd say it because that was an incredible period of time, never thought, this is the most important election perhaps in the history of our country. Get out and vote. Gotta get out and vote. Sleepy Joe Biden is a diehard globalist who spent 47 years outsourcing your jobs, opening your borders, and sacrificing American blood and treasure in ridiculous, endless wars. And they're all coming back. They're all coming back. North Carolina lost nearly half of its manufacturing jobs thanks to NAFTA, one of the worst trade deals ever. And we got rid of it. Nobody thought that was possible. Promises made, promises kept. We did it all. Biden and his group shipped your jobs and your factories to China and other places in faraway lands, raking in millions of dollars for himself, it turns out. We didn't know about this, did we? His son was like a human vacuum cleaner. He went in and, where are you going today, Dad? I think I'll go to Ukraine. Okay, let me pick up a couple of bucks, $183,000 a month, and $3 million up front. Where you going today, Dad? I'm going to go to Russia. Good. So the mayor of Moscow's wife gave him $3.5 million, right? And here's the scary part. The fake news media, and there's a lot of it right back there, the fake news. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. And big tech will refuse to put it on, and then they'll terminate the New York Post if they put it up. New York Post, I have to give them a lot of credit. Number one, they endorsed me, which is nice. You know, I got endorsed today by the Pittsburgh Gazette, and it hasn't happened where they endorsed a Republican today. Nobody could believe it. They haven't done it in decades. And thank you very much, Pittsburgh Gazette. Well taken. Well, we got endorsed by a lot of great people. We got endorsed by great people, and a lot of newspapers are endorsing us because they know that Joe Biden is not up to this job. All you have to do is watch him for about 5 minutes. He is not up to this job. One thing I can tell you, President Xi, Putin, Kim Jong-un, they're very sharp. They're very sharp. They're all very sharp. And we cannot have a leader that's not sharp. Joe Biden is a corrupt politician who is bought and paid for by China and other countries. How can you have a guy whose son walks out with $1.5 billion to manage? That means millions of dollars a year. Whose son asked for $10 million a year for introductory purposes, right? $10 million a year. And he's supposed to be negotiating with China? China would just hope that I don't win because, hey, we've taken in tens of billions of dollars a year, first time ever with China. We never took in 10 cents. Saved our steel mills, saved our steel and aluminum industries. In 2016, North Carolina voted to fire this corrupt political establishment, and you elected a president who is finally putting America first. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because, thankfully, I'm not a politician, never will be. And if I don't always play by the rules of Washington and the Washington establishment, it's because I fight for you, and there's never been anybody that's fought harder for you. I had a very nice life before doing this. I had a very nice life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. So nice. That's such a great honor. When I hear that, it's never been said at any point. I said, did anybody ever hear that? Ronald Reagan we liked, others we liked. Nobody's ever heard it, and I appreciate it very much. My opponent is promising a long, dark winter. Did anybody see the debate? I'm sure nobody watched it, right? He didn't do too well. No, he's looking. Remember, he said, you're going to have a long, dark winter. It's so inspiring. How about somebody says, gee, we really like I don't think anybody likes Biden. Harry, let's watch Biden tonight on television. And he says, we're going to have a long, dark winter. How inspiring that is, right? So he said that, and I'm saying that we're going to deliver the greatest American comeback in history. That's what we're doing. And we're way ahead of schedule. This election is a choice between a Biden depression and a boom like you've never seen before. It's a choice between a Biden lockdown. He wants to lock it down. Let's lock it down. Let's lock it down. And by the way, tell your governor to open up North Carolina. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They'll probably announce it on November 4th. We're going to open up now. You know, they thought our numbers wouldn't be so good. They thought by keeping these states like Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Michigan. How about her? Her husband roams free. He's the only one in the whole state. No, but they thought that by keeping him down, the numbers would, and yet we had at 33.1, that's the highest in the history of our country, by double. You have to go back to 1952, and that was half of what we did. So we're looking forward, we're going to have very shortly, within a couple of weeks, we're going to have safe vaccine that will end. And now look, we're rounding, they hate when I say it, the fake news, but we're rounding the turn, we're rounding the corner anyway. We're rounding the corner. But on top of that, we have vaccines coming from Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, great companies, and they're right there. They're right there. And we're going to have them launched, and our military is going to do it. Logistically incredible. And we're going to start with our seniors, especially our seniors where they have some problems with heart, with diabetes, and we're going to have a great thing. It's going to speed up the process. We launched, and by the way, it does work. Here I am, right? Here I am. Now, I like to say that the medicine I took, Regeneron, I'd like to say that it had no impact on me because I'm a perfect physical specimen and I'm very young. But I decided to take it anyway, right? Now, it's amazing the things we've been able to do in the last 6 months. Not only that, if you look at all of the what we produce now, we've become a production incredible, what we're doing and what we're sending to the world, the ventilators, what we're sending to the world. I mean, we're sending things that nobody could believe, the treatments that reduce the fatality rate now, 85%. Think of it. Think of it. But my wife, our first lady, got it, and our son Barron got it, right? And Barron's 14, and he's very tall, and he's strong. And he had it for a matter of minutes. That's why I say, get the kids back to school. Get them back to school. The doctor came up to us and said, I'm sorry, but Barron has tested positive. And I said, for what? Tested positive for what? And you know, it's got about 30 different names, but he said, COVID. We could call it the China plague, the China virus, but he didn't say, he said COVID. I said, gee, that's too bad. He said, oh, he'll be fine. About 14 minutes later, he came back. I said, how's Barron doing? Oh, he shook it off. It's fine. He's fine. They're young. They have strong immune systems. Get them back to school, please. We've learned about this horrible plague that was sent to us by China. Our excess mortality rate in America is 40% lower than Europe. You know, you keep hearing Europe is doing so well. They're not doing so well. And we want them to do well, by the way. And we help them. We help them. We want them to do well. And but they're having a very hard time. Joe Biden is promising to delay the vaccine and turn America into a prison state while letting rioters roam free. You know, they close your churches, they close your schools, but if you want to riot and burn down the stores and have the anarchists out there do lots of it, that's okay. You can't stop that. But you can't go to school and you can't go to church. It's crazy. All Democrat run, by the way. All Democrat run. You look at Portland, Democrat, super liberal Democrat. We could fix that situation. We have to be invited in. We fixed Seattle because we said that's enough. We're going in. We don't care. We're going in. So we were going in the next morning. That night, they found out about it. They said, we're leaving now. Thank you very much. And we did a great job in Minnesota, Minneapolis. After you watch that place burning down, a week and a half later, they went in and solved it in about a half an hour. If we'd listened to Joe Biden on allowing travel to come in from China and Europe, remember he said, oh, he's xenophobic. Now he runs for president. He said we should have acted sooner. Months later, he didn't think we should do it. Hundreds of thousands more people would have died. We saved 2 million people or more. You remember the model? It said 2.2 million people would die. Well, we saved 2 million people by acting quickly. Now Biden wants a cruel and very heartless nationwide shutdown. It won't affect you because you're already shut down. I don't know what the heck. What's going on with your state? Are you ready to open up? I think so, huh? Now, you know what? People aren't going to take it anymore. Look at what happened in Europe. And the people are revolting. They don't want to do it anymore. They can't do it anymore. We can't have the cure be worse than the problem itself. That was like the first thing I said a long time ago. The Biden lockdown will result in countless deaths and wipe out an entire generation of dreams. And we've learned that children with a computer do not do well compared to being in classes, okay? They don't do well. It's not the same. And the parents have to go to work, and the problems that are caused with alcohol, drug abuse, we can't let this happen, and you can't let it go on. I have a feeling that probably he'll say, you know, it's now November 4th, the day after the election, we'll go back. He should have never done that, and they should have never done that. And actually, the states that are doing best, look at Florida, look at all of these states where they had a spike, and they didn't close down. Look at what happened in Arizona. Look at what happened in Texas. We can't let it happen. Europe imposed draconian lockdowns, and yet their cases are exploding, their deaths are surging, and their economies are, let's face it, you look at what happened, they're in ruins. You know, we had the smallest down and the largest up and the largest fast up on the economy by far. So the European lockdowns are leading to more suffering, delayed medical care, and financial devastation. A vote for Biden is a vote for lockdowns, layoffs, misery, and getting rid of your Second Amendment. You know, they want to hurt our police, but they want to take away your guns. Very interesting, isn't it? If you want a vaccine to kill the virus, a job to support your family, and freedom to live your life, then go cast your ballot, cast your vote for me. We're going to do it. We're doing it. But you don't have to take my word for it, because in certain states that I like a lot, we spend a lot of money for, where is that? Look at that over there. Look at that. You're going to see something right now. You don't have to listen. Please roll the video. Roll it.
My problem is I voted for NAFTA. I'm supporting NAFTA because I think it is a positive thing to do. And I do not pretend to be an expert on international trade matters.
Trade agreements like NAFTA and permanent normal trade relations with China, which forced American workers to compete against people who are making pennies an hour, has resulted in the loss of 160,000 jobs.
The president is absolutely right when he says that China has been cheating for 25 years and that Bill Clinton didn't do enough about it, George W. Bush didn't do enough about it, Barack Obama didn't do enough about it.
The rising China is an incredibly positive development for not only China,
with the United States and the rest of the world. Rising China is a positive development. It is in our self-interest that China continue to prosper. We want to see China rise. China is a great nation, and we should hope for the continued expansion. China is not our enemy. We talk about China as our competitor. We should be helping. The idea that China is going to eat our lunch is bizarre. The idea that they are our competition, they're going to beat us, is bizarre. They're not bad folks. China's not a problem.
Allowing China into the World Trade Organization, which he supported, extending most favored nation status to China, which he supported, those steps allowed China to take advantage of the United States by using our own open trade deals against us.
No.
Do you think in retrospect that you were naive about China?
No.
But doesn't he deserve some credit for that? It's better. The USMCA is better than NAFTA.
It is better than NAFTA. You know, we have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate. So vote! Vote! Visit iwill.com/Ohio. God bless you.
Can somebody tell Joe, by the way, it's not a real website, and Joe, you're running for president, not senator, and by the way, that senator, the Mormon guy, is Mitt Romney, not some Mormon governor. Now, sadly, what we showed you, that's just from a couple of hours today, because every time that Joe actually leaves the basement bunker and stays out past 10 a.m., well, disaster ensues. Here's a quick reminder.
Look, tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and I want to thank you all. I tell you what, I'm rushing ahead, aren't I? We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330. We choose truth over facts. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Donald Trump does pose an extra threat to this. It's not hypothetical.
This is pretty serious. By the way, these are way beyond an occasional campaign gaffe, and I am beginning, well, I'm more than a little worried that this man could represent a clear and present danger to this country. He's obviously not capable of leading. He's been hiding the entire campaign, and the corrupt media mob is covering for him. Joe wants to be the president of the United States of America. That would be the toughest job in the world. And at times, Joe doesn't seem to remember that he's even running for president, or what state he's in, or what day of the week it is. Does anyone really believe that if elected, that Joe Biden will actually be in control of anything?
What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, is going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world. Barack and I think it's a right for people to have bad health care. Folks, we got a lot of work to do. I don't only need you to get me elected, I need you once I'm elected. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
Well, thank you very much. That saves a lot of words up here this cold, windy night. It saves a lot of words, but we can't do this to our country. We have such potential. We cannot do this. He's failed for 47 years. And at the debate, all I had to do is very easy. I said, Joe, why didn't you do it? You know, as he stood and complained, what about this? What? I said, Joe, you left 3.5 years ago. You were there for a long time. And you were in that position for 8 years. Why didn't you do it, Joe? And he never had an answer. No law enforcement endorsements, no nothing. Joining us tonight are some people that have done a great job and people that really helped me a lot in Washington. A man who right now I hear you doing extremely well in the polls, Senator Tom Tillis. Tom. Very good. I just saw a very good poll, and we had a very good poll today, too. I have to tell you that. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if I don't win after coming here, they said maybe we can cancel North Carolina tonight. One of my guys, one of my geniuses said, I think they'd understand. You've only been out here for 2 days waiting. I said, I don't have the courage to even think about asking that question. No, would never even think about it. No, you've been great to me. The victories that we've had together and what we've done for you, and we have you protected, including your tobacco growers, right? We have it all. We have you all protected. You're all protected. A really wonderful person, wonderful woman, and she's always with me, Representative Virginia Fox. Virginia, thank you. Thank you, Virginia. Great job you do. A man that I'd love to see in, he'll open you up. I think we can get a guarantee tonight. Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest. Come on, Dan, win. Good, Dan. Boy, oh boy, I tell you, that would be a natural. That's a natural. You'll open it up right away? Okay. You should win just on that one. This is crazy. He's doing what the Washington Democrats are telling him to do. Attorney General candidate Jim O'Neill. Hi, Jim. Great job, Jim. GOP Chairman Mike Whatley. How we doing, Mike? Are we winning? Are we leading? The polls up, right? Yeah, we're up pretty good. We should be up. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Pastor and a friend of mine, and he lives right down the road, Pastor Franklin Graham.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I would like to take a second to pray for this man. Will you join me? Our Father and our God, we pray for our president, protect him and his family, and protect our nation, and we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
You take care of yourself. It's a great honor. That's a good genes right there, right? That's good genes. Billy Graham, how good was Billy Graham, right? Nobody liked Billy. After years of rebuilding foreign countries, we are finally rebuilding our country. For 47 years, the Democrats viciously and brutally, repeatedly attacked. And you know what we're talking about? Because it was led by a man named Joe Biden. Black Americans, they attacked, decimated the black middle class, and called young black men super predators. To every black American, I am asking for you to vote. You have to vote on Tuesday. You can send a message on Tuesday to the corrupt Democrat establishment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We've had tremendous support. And by the way, just so you understand, I don't want to look at all those cameras. Oh, they're all blazing. You ready? So we're doing so well. And one of the great things that's happened is our African-American vote, our black community vote is way up. And they're all saying, wow. Wow. They're all saying, everybody back there is saying, wow. That's amazing. That's what's happening in Florida. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening all over. This is your one and only chance to show Sleepy Joe Biden what you think of his decisions to attack, insult, jail you. 1994 bill, I'm fighting for you. And if you look at what we've done, just quickly, criminal justice reform, prison reform, opportunity zones with Tim Scott, Historically black colleges and universities, long-term funding. They had no funding. Every year they had to come back and ask for funding. I said, nope, we got to get you long-term funding. We got them more money than they wanted. They needed it. Under my leadership, we achieved the most secure United States border in the history of our country. Biden would make every city in America a sanctuary city, which is not good. And it's not Biden. It's not Biden. It's his handlers. I believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding American citizens. The Biden-Harris plan would also increase refugees 700%, opening floodgates to radical Islamic terrorism. You see what's happening in France. I'm keeping terrorists, jihadists, and violent extremists out of our country. And so I was asked on this very windy night, speaking of that, to do a thing that we used to do during the campaign. I'll do it. Has anyone heard of the snake? Have you heard it? Should I do it? So this has to do with this subject. And it's been a long time since I've done this one, but so many people are asking, you ready? The snake, on her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She wrapped him up, all cozy, in a comforter of silk, and she laid him by the fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night. As soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried, but I hadn't brought you in by now. You know you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You knew your bite was poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. So I've been asked by so many people. I've been asked to do that one by so many people. But that pertains a little bit to what we see going on. And you look at Paris and you look at the attacks over the last week and you look at what's happening, and we are doing very well. We are doing very well. We have a very strong policy. We put in a ban that a lot of people were upset about, and now they're saying, thank you very much for the ban. We appreciate it very much. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military. We also passed VA choice and VA accountability for our great vets. We have a 91% approval rating with our vets, the highest by a lot in history. At my direction, the United States military conducted a successful operation to rescue an American hostage last night, kidnapped overseas just 96 hours earlier. Incredible people. The U.S. Special Forces brilliantly executed a daring nighttime operation. Over the last 4 years, we have rescued a record 55 hostages and detainees in more than 24 countries, and we pay nothing, because once you pay, those numbers go very high. But this operation should serve as a stark warning to terrorists and thugs who try to kidnap our people. You cannot escape the long reach of American military and American justice. So this happened last night. We're very proud of them. I was at Fort Bragg. Oh, by the way, we're leaving the name Fort Bragg in case you had any questions. Let that word out if you don't mind. Cancel culture. Let's cancel. Let's change everything. No, we're leaving the name Fort Bragg. We won 2 world wars out of Fort Bragg and other great places. Gee, let's change the name of Fort Bragg. We obliterated the ISIS caliphate, and we killed the leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi. We eliminated the mass murder of U.S. troops. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. I recognized the capital of Israel and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 52 years they negotiated that deal. We did it in less than 2 hours. And we are now forging peace in the Middle East. Already 3 countries, and they're lined up. A vote for me in the Republican Party is a vote to save the American dream. And in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we will make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world, and we will end our reliance on China once and for all. We will hire more police, increase penalties on law enforcement, and we will ban deadly sanctuary cities. With God's help, we will defend the right to life, religious liberty, free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms, your Second Amendment. Which Sleepy Joe will not be doing any of that. We will maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we will ensure peace through strength. And we are the envy of the world military, $2.5 trillion, but we have the finest missiles and rockets and tanks and jets. What we've done, submarines, we have the greatest military, and our nuclear arsenal has been updated and is in tippy-top shape, and only hope to God we never have to use it. Hope to God we never have to use it. We will end surprise medical billing, require price transparency, starts on January 1st, all done. Lower drug prices even more. Going to bring them down to the lowest anywhere in the world. I've exercised a thing called favored nations. The drug companies do not like me too much. And we will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions. America will land the first woman on the moon, and the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. We will stop the radical indoctrination of our students and restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we will live by the timeless words of our national motto, "In God we trust." For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president who is standing up for America and standing up for the great people of North Carolina. 2 days from now, America's fate is in your hands. You must get out and vote. This is the most important election possibly in the history of our country. You must let everyone know. Go get them. Go grab your family, grab your boss, grab your coworkers, grab them all. Got to get out and vote. So important. From Asheville to Charlotte, from Wilmington to Raleigh, and from Greensboro to right here in Hickory. Great place. Greatest furniture in the world. I've bought plenty of it. And it's much better than what they make in China, that I can tell you. I know it well. There's a big difference. We inherit the legacy of red-blooded American patriots who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to defend our country and to defend our freedom. We stand on the shoulders of American heroes, right? These are great, great heroes who crossed the oceans, settled the continent, tamed the wilderness, laid down the railroads, raised up the great skyscrapers, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism, and made America into the single greatest nation in the history of the world, and the best is yet to come. Proud citizens like you helped build this country, and together we are taking back our country. We are returning power to you, the American people. With your help, your devotion, and your drive, we are going to keep on working. We are going to keep on fighting. And we are going to keep on winning, winning, winning. Vote for Tom. Get Tom in there, right? We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together with the incredible people of North Carolina, we have made America powerful again, our military. We have made America wealthy again. We have made America strong again. We have made America proud again. We have made America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, North Carolina. Go out and vote. Thank you.
You heard him. Get out and vote, North Carolina. Get out and vote, America. There's a lot at stake in this election. We are not done yet. We have another 2 to go tonight. We're headed now to Rome, Georgia, where Liz Willis, our correspondent there, says a huge, huge turnout. So we're going to be there. We'll show you the entire crowd. And then we'll head to Miami. And I encourage you, I know it's a late start, 11:30 p.m. Eastern, but if you can tune into that, you're going to be shocked. Anyway, thank y'all so much. We've done 3 of 5 today. We've got 5 more tomorrow. It's all thanks to you. If you want to support us, rsbnetwork.com/donate. And now back to the scene in Hickory.
So much, everybody, for joining us on Right Side Broadcast Network. Sorry, it's very bright. We have very strong lights in front of us. The president just delivered his message why he needs to be in the White House for another 4 years, and he made his case strong tonight. So thank you, President Trump, for being here. We appreciate it. The people of North Carolina appreciate it. The crowd excited to see Air Force One take off, and of course, the notorious song playing behind us, the president dancing as he walked off stage. It is going to be an exciting next couple of days, and we will see victory come November 3rd. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Thank you so much. We are so excited to see the president. We're just 2 days out from the election, and we have 2 more rallies tonight. The next one will be in Rome, Georgia, and the one after that is going to be in Miami, Florida. So with that, thank you so much for supporting Right Side Broadcasting. You guys can also support our partner, My Patriot Supply, with only days until the election. Now's the time to prepare, and My Patriot Supply is back with a great offer for today only. It comes in a super cool ammo can and contains breakfast, lunches, and dinners that last up to 25 years. But you can only get it when you go to this special site, prepare2020.com. Think about it. When an emergency strikes, what's your first impulse? Run to the grocery store, but in today's volatile world, you'll likely find